Well, It's been a week. It's been 2 weeks.
It's been crazy.
Derek B is here joining us today. Welcome. It's good to see you. It's been too long.
What's up, y'all?
It's been too long.
Way too long, man. And like I told you in your text, in that text exchange I was going with you when I was trying to make it a song, but you know, it's all good.
Yeah. The Eric B and Rakim.
Yeah.
Shouldn't left you. But and we have Farrell here as well today.
Hi.
Chris and Joey are both on assignment. Joey was supposed to be here and had to take a last minute job at something. It's always tricky for him around flu season. So that's just the cost of doing business, I suppose. But I got to be honest, for probably one of the discussions that's going to happen today, I am happy that Joey is not here. Don't get me wrong. I always want Joey here. I love him dearly. But I'm happy he's not here today because this week has been a trying week for me in keeping my faith in humanity. And I usually believe in the goodness of people. I ultimately default that if you give people the opportunity to do the right thing, I truly believe that oftentimes they will. Now, when you get,
I think that's true for the individual.
correct.
Not true for the masses.
Correct. It's when you it's when you start clustering them that they become problematic.
Truly.
But anyway, I don't want to necessarily lead off on that sour note.
Well,
So
it's 60% of my notes.
other than that, I did watch. I always like to admit when I've done such a thing, but I did watch a bit of a sporting venture this week.
Oh yeah, you did.
I watched a bit of a football game.
You did.
That you had money on.
I always do.
Yes, that's true. My friend,
Like death taxes and me betting on sports.
my friend Melina had money on, and my friend G Money had money on. So
I loved the fact that they thought that their player had scored a touchdown and they had won their bet, and then it pans out and they see his number and like, oh, that's not him. Oh shit!
I got to witness the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat within seconds of one.
Wow.
So and that's been the bulk of my week. I will say before we get started that I'm surprised that this thing isn't smoking, this computer of mine, because I have been recording my ass off these past couple of weeks because I'm trying to front load my recording stuff so that for the fourth quarter, which is my favorite time of year, I can take a step back a bit and sort of ride it out. Halloween, and then November, whatever, and then Christmas.
And I only hope that there's an extensive list of Fans Toys reviews because everybody that knows me knows that it's something.
If there's one thing
you
care
near and dear to my heart, and it gives me great pleasure to check my emails to see that you've released a new Fans Toy review.
What's your favorite Fans Toys?
The last one.
I thought you might go with how can I pick? They're all like my children.
Yeah, go with that. That's the one.
Yeah, Fans Toys has been cranking them out.
Yeah, they got to end this. There's a end of the year flush out getting ready to happen.
Yeah, all the Chinese New Year rush and Christmas money rush.
Christmas in September.
Yeah. So Derek, it's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you. Why don't you lead us off with how your life has been? Nerd weeks, nerd months, nerd quarters, whatever it's been.
Hey man, it's been an interesting journey these past couple of months, as a matter of fact. A lot's been going on without getting into the weeds. It's been an interesting journey nerd-wise because I've made some decisions and some changes in regards to how I do collecting, business, and association. If you
in regard to collecting, or three separate aspects of your life?
Three separate aspects of my life. Yeah.
Okay.
So personal wise, family is great. We were talking earlier about my daughter.
Yeah.
Not really wanting to go into that, but it's. I would just ask everyone to keep my youngest daughter Gabby in your prayers, as you pray daily. She's dealing with some mental health issues, and we're just pulling for her, and we truly believe that she's going to be okay
For sure.
And dang, it's like, when I talk about my daughter, it's like everything shuts down.
Yeah.
But anyway, but no, really. I want to talk about collecting real quick.
Yeah.
So, financially, things make you change your mind in a lot of ways. So it's just like, okay, you notice that prices are going up on things. So you got to, start making decisions about how you collect and what you collect. So, I'm after Sovereign 2.0 and Ironhide and Ratchet, I'm out.
So you could just talk to me. He doesn't know.
Oh, no. I'm just.
I know.
Oh, no. He's got that look on his face, like,
well, he could tell they were fans.
What is he about to say? So for those of y'all that I can't see it right now, I'm looking at Pharaoh's face. He's like, "Go on."
Yeah.
So
you're out of the MP game.
No. I didn't say I'm out of Fans Toys.
Really?
Yeah.
What about your Constructicons?
Well, I went with X-Transbots with Constructicons as far as the box.
Oh, but what about Devastator?
Devastator, I'm keeping Toy World. So
What about the combiners?
Forgive him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I give you a pass. So, yeah.
Because the last time we spoke, I thought you were pretty set on the Fans Toys.
Well, I was until my wallet started talking to me. My wallet was like, bruh, we're literally business-wise, we're in the fiscal year, at the end of the fiscal year. So you're gonna have a lot going on at the end of this year. You got meetups, you got conventions, you still got pieces to that you've been wanting to get for a while. Blockies is taking over your life, and it's and we'll get into that too. Yeah, you got to start making some wiser decisions, and with Fans Toys, with their price, okay, because I know everybody's trying to follow me, and it sounds like I'm scattered, but here's where I'm going with this. I have to start thinking about what I'm collecting. I have to start thinking about how I'm displaying, what I'm displaying, and my number one rule: if I'm not displaying it, I'm not buying it. So that went off the rails when I got into Blockies. I got into some of the stuff that is obscure, like the Optus, like when MMC come out with their Optus Pexes, and then now they got that Megatron, and I still ain't got yet. I'm still working on that, but it's like I'm not displaying those. I'm just those are Despots. Those are stuff that I play with. Old Iron Factory figures that I never got a chance to get, and I'm getting now. Now it's just getting all over the place, and it's just looking like a mess. So at this point, it's like, bruh, you're spending money on stuff that is not favorable to what you're trying to accomplish. Your display is suffering as a result of that. So let's think about this for a second. So let's think about what I'm spending my money on. Fans Toys, as you all know, came out with Blisswing recently, and I had to look at that and be like, okay, you've been looking at this Star Toys Blisswing for a while as well. And you've actually handled it, you like it, and you want to go ahead and get it, and it meets the requirements of your wallet, and it displays perfectly for what you want. You want that card, you want that Toon look. Yep,
it's definitely more Toon than the Fans Toys.
Yes,
in spite of what people want to say.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, stand on 10 toes on what you say you're going to do, and okay, let's do that. So I went and I didn't go in on the Fans Toys Blisswing as a result. So I passed on it. I saw the reviews for it and all that type of stuff. I was like, yeah, okay. People thought I was hating on it because it was just like, okay. I said, I'm not hating on it. It's absolutely great. I've seen literally all kinds of reviews. Yeah, so your review on it, I saw Sony's review on it.
And my review is more so that it's good enough.
Right.
Mine's not that it's great. It's not.
Right.
It'll work.
I mean,
that's what I would put on a T-shirt for it. But it'll work.
But it was enough. It revealed enough to let me know that I made the right decision when it came to that. So now I'm looking at I'm really, really focused on how does this display with what I want to display. So that's where I'm at with my collection when it comes to collection. Let me talk about health for a second. I'm over 50, and
But let's make some noise for you being over 50.
I hit over 50 last year, and
You have a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday as well.
Oh, thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. But I'm taking more supplements now that my doctors got me taking.
There you
It's just
go, dude. Taking some fish oil.
dude.
Omega-3 fatty acid.
I just started taking the omega-3, the turmeric, what is it? B something. It was a B.
B12.
B12?
No, not B12.
Okay.
B complex or something like that. I gotta.
How about be kind?
Yeah,
Be kind.
but yeah,
Be thoughtful.
I'm on these supplements now, and I actually feel the difference after doing. I've been on these supplements. My doctor been telling me for about a week now.
Okay.
And it's just like I notice a difference, but it's just like some of the things that I know. I mean, this is nerve. We talk
Whatever.
It's like I'm going to use the bathroom, and it's just like, why is my pee neon yellow? What is going on with this? And then
Mine's usually because of the amount of orange crushes the night before.
dude, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. But so because you got me on that one last year, I was just like, yo, it's been an interesting ride since I had that first orange crush, dude. Baltimore,
Yeah.
yeah, man,
That was crazy. Let's some shots off.
That was crazy. Every time I think about that
table that we were at, for those
Yeah.
listening, we were at a Transformers convention in Baltimore, and they were serving crushes at the bar, and I'm always talking about them. So there's a lot of people coming from out of town, especially
First timers.
the first timers.
They
Dude,
sneak up on you.
I have a picture of this table. There's probably the whole table is filled with empty Orange Crush glasses,
Yeah.
and some of them are stacked 3 or 4 tall with 4 or 5 straws sitting.
Where was
Yeah.
the bar staff? Clean the fucking
yeah.
glass.
No, hey, I know where they weren't. But I have a picture of that table, like in my photo album, because it was just such a fucking disaster.
Yeah, man.
And they sneak up on you, buddy.
Beer steins. It was like I had like these large beer steins. I had 2 of them before I left there.
Let me see if I can find it. It was October, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it while you're talking.
Yeah. So I had 2 before we left. Because when we wrapped up over there with you, we went over to the ERC party where they were down the street. I was feeling so good. Now, Derek B doesn't dance. Derek B doesn't sing in public.
Right.
Until
I got over here. And they had karaoke going on, and I'm like really feeling it, So I'm joining in the karaoke. I'm just having it. There's videos of me somewhere, and me singing karaoke, and just being expressive, if you will. So, but shout out to whoever's got that video. Is never going to come to the light of day. Hopefully, yep.
It's at least 3 bottles of vodka.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. When I say I was, and I'm not a drinker, and that's the thing about that. I'm not a drinker. It's just like, any part of alcohol hits me, it's just like, all right, I don't have to drive.
The problem with the motherfuckers is how good they fucking taste.
Yeah.
Like a lot of liquor has that you're doing this to get drunk taste to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can have like a fine like a fine whiskey or a bourbon or something. And it doesn't taste like fucking pumpkin pie, does it? You can appreciate the
weird.
smoothness and the whatever, but you're drinking it because you're like, okay, I can appreciate the value of this, but simultaneously, I'm pushing myself through this because it's not like Cool Ranch Doritos to get to the goal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Orange Crushes, I'd be like, man, I would just pop one of them for just after lunch.
Yeah.
I'm a little thirsty.
Because they're delicious.
So, but that was cool. Fast forward all the way up to RetroCon just recently. We just had RetroCon in PA a couple weeks ago, and we all got together. Realm Group, shout out to the Realm, and we all got together at PJ Wellahan. So that was right next to it.
I've never been up there.
It's it's like a bar
Slash
bar
restaurant.
food, bar slash restaurant.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So I had a drink there. I can't remember the name of it, but it had
For not
like
being a drinker, there's a lot of drinking recently.
I know.
Turns you out.
Yeah, you see the extended periods between them though. So last year, so it's like I drink maybe once a year, and I'm patterning it around that. So
Okay.
it's like I may have a drink once a year. So this one I had a drink and I was competing. I'm not. Damn, I just said competing because it seemed like it seemed that way because Courtney, who's Joe West's wife, got
I
this
never
drink.
met her. I know Joe West.
You know,
I don't think I've ever met her.
Okay, Courtney is. You never met Joe.
No, I know Joe for sure.
You know
I know
Joe.
Joe's
but you
been
haven't-
here.
right? You haven't met Courtney. then.
Correct.
Yeah, Courtney's a bomb. First of all, you know,
Okay.
shout out to Courtney. And you know, when her and Sean get together, it's just like, you know. I was literally sitting in between. I was sitting between. We was at like a bar table.
Yeah.
You know, the high chairs.
Sure.
You know, so I'm like trying to figure out where we're going to sit. So Sean's right here, and then Courtney's right here, and she's sitting across from Joe. I was like, well, let me sit across. And she's like, no, sit next to me. I said, no, because if I sit right here, it's going to be me just ducking down because y'all want to talk to each other. And lo and behold, what happened?
Right.
I'm literally like this
Crossfire.
You know, I'm literally leaning forward so both of them can dialogue, and I'm just like, I said, "See, told y'all it was
Right.
going to happen." But anyway, she had this one drink, and it was a pumpkin spice type of drink.
Joe West's girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Let's say some white girl shit.
she's like, yeah, this tastes good, and I'm looking at it on the menu, and it is pumpkin spice. You know, I like pumpkin spice cupcakes. You know,
you
that's
do.
the only pumpkin spice that I'm ever going to do. It's just like, you know, because everything else is just trash.
Just
yo.
dab
It's
on
like,
that little
you're
cupcake.
right,
I get
know?
you.
I was like, okay, but I've been a fan of pumpkin spice cupcakes for years,
There you
and
go.
that's when like Walmart gets them. and
Don't get me wrong. I fuck with pumpkin roll. I fuck with pumpkin cheesecake. My wife makes is delightful.
That is good.
That's one of my favorite desserts of all time.
But that's not a pumpkin spice.
True. But a pumpkin flavor. I'm just going pumpkin flavor. I like a pumpkin pie. I need it to be cold.
Cold?
I need it out of the fridge. So I celebrate. I mean, I'm genetically prone to it, but I celebrate pumpkin flavor as well. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
And I
All
like
right.
I like to carve a good pumpkin.
Oh, okay.
I carve one every year.
Yeah. No, I know you're big into Halloween too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, love
that's
it.
what's up.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. My mom used to say that's that dark side. You know,
Yeah.
it's fucking old guinea bitch.
I'm sorry. So she had me sample her. I'd get a straw and just take and put it in and drink it. You know how you do the straw thing, you know, take the sample. I'm like, yo, this is good. So I had the waitress bring me one. And it was really good. I sat there for a minute and I was just like, uh-oh. I'm about to be social. So I started being social. And
Your little
it was
butterfly
like
wings
getting
came
ready
out?
to do. I was like, it's that time of year. It's that time of year. So we
What
get
music was
social.
playing?
No, it was no music playing.
I was hoping a little dance was going to come out.
But what happened, the
Was.
waitress that was helping us, she had these eyelashes. And, you know, the ladies was talking about her eyelashes, how they so long, she could fly away and all that type of stuff. And then, now me, normally I would be low tone because this is like, you know, okay, y'all shouldn't be talking about the girl like that. Like, yeah, and then so I'm being very nice to her and everything. And I don't know what I said. I still don't know what I said. But apparently it got real uncomfortable after, you know, a minute. And it was just like, okay, yeah, we got to go.
That's okay. I
It's like,
asked,
yo, why y'all rushing out?
I asked a Waffle House waitress one time if she'd ever be interested in a threesome.
What?
I was pretty far gone.
You her and a stack of pancakes, baby?
And I showed her a picture, you know, like my wife. I was like, look, I was like, you know, even if I'm not high up on your chart, this might be worth your while.
Yeah. Yo, but yeah,
Bring the syrup.
but it was, you know, it was interesting to say the least. So Sean was like, yeah, you're not doing that no more. I was like, okay, well, you know, if you say so. You know, I mean, you know, you the boss.
I'm a firm believer in never bringing up drunk talk, man. Like
Yeah.
anything that's said in the confidence between adults when you're drunk, you let that be in the moment.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, it was one drink, so it was just like, okay, I'm a super lightweight when it comes to
Yeah.
alcohol. So
Yeah.
I wish.
yeah.
Likewise.
Yeah. As far as recent stuff, man, I tried to get into the new Alien show.
Okay. I haven't tried it yet.
Which one?
So the newest one,
Alien Earth.
Alien Earth. I watched the first episode. So what I'm understanding about this is it's the prequel to the first Alien movie.
Okay.
So they're literally explaining how all the events started.
Okay.
And I watched the first episode, and it was like, okay. And they were talking about different classifications of humans at the time, because it's still future Earth and all that. You have your regular humans, you have humanoids, you have cyborgs, and you have hybrids. Mm-hmm. And and it may have been deeper than that, but I was like, okay. I watched the first episode, and I was like, and I was telling Sean about it. She was just like, well, let's just watch it together and see what I said. Okay. So I watched the first episode, but I got to wait for her to watch the first episode so we can watch the rest of it. I think there are like 5-6 episodes in right now.
I'm waiting for the whole season to come out before.
And that's what I thought about doing too, because it made more sense to just binge watch it so you don't have to be waiting. Because I wish I had did that with Peacemaker. Peacemaker is so fucking awesome. I just got to keep watching it
Man, I
every
still
week.
been meaning to watch that.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's more just like when you're learning about the world.
Yeah.
Right. So, to put 7 days in between episodes or possibly more, you're like, oh, I forgot what that is. And you have to think, you pause it, go back, like what do they mean by humanoid? Which one was that?
Right.
So I'd rather just watch 4 or 5 hours at once.
What's the last show? Because I agree with you, and I think I know the answer. But the one exception to that, to me, is when the show is such a cultural phenomenon that everybody is talking about it.
Yeah.
So the event happens, you come to work, you go to school, and everybody's talking about it. And then you talk about that episode for a week.
Yeah.
And then it's still fresh in your mind when
Game
that
of
next
Thrones was
Game of Thrones is the last one.
That's the last real
Cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, across everybody kind of
I
thing.
agree.
Everybody saw it. And that was the kind of one where even if you really wanted to watch, save up some episodes, you got so many spoilers.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Just acts if
The
you didn't
memes-
watch it Sunday night, Monday at 7 a.m., people are like,
Talking
did you
about it,
see
yeah.
when they killed? And you're like, fuck.
The memes about it,
Yeah.
would spoil it for you, and then I remember come Saturday or Sunday, you would start seeing memes about warning you about spoilers for it.
Right.
It would be I remember there was the red witch or whatever it was, the witch lady.
Red priestess.
It would be her, and it would be a meme that says the
Great tits when she's wearing the necklace when they come off.
not so
Oh,
much,
yeah.
not so
Right,
much.
yeah.
But it would say that the internet is dark and full of spoilers.
Yeah.
But it was a cultural phenomenon.
When my man got eaten by his dog that time, and he was on the cover of, they had his face on the Alpo bag or something like that on the next day. It was just like, yo, okay, so that happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. But the last season of Game of Thrones was trash. I'm just gonna put it out there.
I understand that perspective. I don't think it's trash. I don't think it's great.
I think it was rushed.
I think it was rushed, and I think it was.
Yeah,
I think it was limited what they could do because of the amount that they were paying the actors and actresses at the time.
Yeah.
Hold on.
To tie up that
Hold
many
on.
storylines in that short a period of time.
But here's the thing: before that season came out, they delayed it a year. Mm-hmm. They made us wait a whole year, and they literally said it when the end of that previous season ended. They're saying it's going to be a whole year. And in actuality, it was 2 years, I believe. It's 2
They
years
ended
as far
up
as
splitting that
production.
last season into 2 sections. You remember they released half of one, and then, there was a whole thing to it.
Yeah.
That first half was great.
Production wise, it got
Yeah.
delayed 2 years. We had to watch the last season. We had to wait a whole year for that. But I'm just like, y'all had 2 years to figure out, that whole season. Yeah, and it seemed really rushed.
Yeah, so I think
Remember that night battle? The one that's mainly at night where she's
yes, with the walkers.
Yeah.
It was impossible to see what was going on.
So I went back and rewatched that, turning the brightness up on the television
Yeah,
just
really?
to see
Yeah.
something. And it's like they didn't need to spend that much money because the effects are there when you
Yeah.
turn the brightness up.
Well,
and you can see shit, and you're like, "Wow, that's amazing." But
It goes
the way you guys released it.
You're
You
right.
could have done
So-
this shit old school.
So I think that they had the money for that shit. And what I was getting ready to say to you was that, like, you know, these actors, they renegotiate their contract. You know, so
Yeah.
they sign on for a certain amount of time and then they renegotiate. And I think by the time they got to where they were at, they were paying these motherfuckers so much money that they were like, well, fuck, there's only X amount of dollars left. You know, like we can't continue this way.
Yeah.
You know, and it was probably, I guarantee you that at the end of that season, they were up for another renegotiation. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and the big thing was because I did a little bit of digging into it, back at that time. So the actors got paid per episode that they were in, not for the amount of time they worked. So if they cut it so that they did a flashback, they were paying that actor for that episode. So it's like when you have 11 main characters,
Yeah.
and they're all making,
least.
they're all making 1.2 an episode that they're in, and you have this storytelling way of kind of jumping around. You're like, oh, great, this is a $50 million episode. In
Yeah.
just,
And there was
in
no
just actors.
There was
or
no
even do the dragons and shit.
merch machine for it. There was merch, don't get me wrong, there was t-shirts and stuff, but when you think about a merch machine like Star Wars, where it's like you can't walk into any store in America without seeing 100 things for sale with that name on it with the TM next to it.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well, the weird thing is because it became such a cultural phenomenon, they didn't need the merch machine
at first.
at first
Yeah.
to get people to watch it.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, but now we kind of need the 50 mil in revenue from
Just
the
to keep the
fucking
ball rolling.
characters just to keep the lights on.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Alien and watching the whole thing. And
So we got to just get jumped back on that one. But Peacemaker for me has been phenomenal. I'm actually 2 episodes because what's today? Friday. Yesterday's episode dropped, so I'm actually 2 episodes behind, and it's not because I'm of lack of interest. It's just I just haven't had the time to sit down and actually just watch the episode, get comfortable, and watch the episodes. And that's also
Oh, man,
because
a
of
little
Xbox.
wibbly wobbly in
Uh-oh.
it.
Yeah. You good? Okay.
but I
Coke's been drinking.
Yeah.
I think that like I want to watch Peacemaker. I want to watch Thunderbolts, which I think is also available on Disney Plus now.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if something happened during that like gap from like 2020 to 2023 or whatever, but somewhere in there, I just lost all desire for the most part to sit in front of a television, mostly to be just beat over my head with mediocrity. Like there became something that switched in me where I was like, man, like I don't want to spend 3 hours sitting in front of this machine just to get up and say, well, that was fine. You know what I mean? We watched, skipping ahead a bit, but we watched Scarface.
That's in my notes.
Yeah. And like, and we could talk about it again, but like sitting there and watching it and watching in the presence of 2 people that have never seen it, which is insane to me, but it's just,
Who's never seen it?
It's 2 guys you don't know, but trust me,
okay.
like the level of shit that they haven't seen would it makes you want to jump off the fucking roof of this fucking house.
It makes you
wow.
want to install more televisions to start watching more.
If there was only there was room for something. But
Classic right there.
But like just to see 2 people sit down and take in something great, you know what I mean, so to speak, and then afterwards be like, that was great, and to see like yes, because media used to have great moments.
Yep.
But yeah.
Wait till you see it third, fourth time.
Yeah,
'Cause you don't catch all the
I
stuff that you
still
missed.
catch shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Peacemaker, good. You're saying you're enjoying it. I want to watch it. I just need to motivate myself to sit in front of a television.
I'll tell you what. I'll watch Peacemaker with you.
Okay. Well, I'm in season 2, so you got to get through all.
I'll catch up.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I only
There you
watched
go.
fucking 900 fucking hours of Clone Wars.
That's true.
God bless you.
Yeah.
I'll end this off with talking about Eternia Dreams.
Okay. Well, we're not going to end it there, but you said another thing in your thing. I want to get back to.
Okay.
But yeah, Eternia Dreams just opened up locally.
Yeah,
For me anyway.
Frederick.
Yep.
And we went there last weekend and we had a blast. So met up with Chris. Chris was up there and met up with Greg, Chris, Dormammu,
Clem. Tippett.
Will.
Ill Will. Lil Will.
Lil Will. Yeah.
Yeah. Willie Slammo.
Yeah. Yeah. And golly, who's Marcellus Proctor. I don't know. You never met Marcellus.
Okay.
But
He doesn't. Look
he's
like a bitch.
he's the store is absolutely it's a bigger store than the one that is,
For real?
yeah,
'Cause that's
it's
a big ass store down there. Okay.
this one's bigger. In my opinion, is bigger.
Wow. That's
So,
impressive.
and they have
For those listening, it's like a secondhand toy store.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, all a
A lot of nostalgic stuff,
nostalgic
old vintage.
Yeah, when you actually come into the store, they have all the old that Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain, Eternos. They have the large sets that are displayed in the front of the store. They got the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier right in the front of the display. The one thing I didn't ask if they were actually selling some of those pieces that were out in the front. If they were actually selling them,
Everything's for sale.
I would think so, but who knows? But yeah, I went in there, of course, look for Transformer stuff. But the one thing I did buy something, and I'm convinced that I'm going to have you watching Beast Wars one day.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
But you haven't seen it with me, so
That may be true.
So,
But I have seen it. I've watched it.
I know, and I know you're not a huge fan of it, but
I think it's well written. I just
Yeah.
think it bastardizes the franchise.
Okay, I give you that. I bought a Beast Wars Monopoly game.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to breaking that open this weekend.
Just hide the
And
knives.
hoping, yeah, right, exactly. Like I was telling you, the one thing I have no mercy when it comes to Monopoly, when it comes to Uno.
For me, it's Monopoly and Spades.
And Spades, yeah.
It's game on.
Yo,
And actually, I get busy in Boggle too.
you was so last call says you weren't at the table when we were playing Spades.
No, I can't do that. I want to.
You was on the grill. I know you was watching that game though.
Yeah. I gotta stay moving and shaking. I try not to get, but yeah.
Sony was my partner in that one, and I'm sure he told you. I don't know if he told you a story or not, but man, Sony's never played Spades before.
Yeah.
It's just like we had to teach him how to Spades. I was like, yo, and that was when Ricky was up here. So it was last year.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I mean, Sony, you did all right, but yeah, we're gonna sit down and teach you really
Learning
how to play,
curve.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay, but yeah, Monopoly, Uno. I don't have no. Like you say, check your feelings at the door.
Yep.
I don't have no mercy when it comes to either of those games. So it's just like, it is what it is. I need you to treat me the same way, and then it's going to be a good game. Because those games are long anyway. So it's just like,
100%.
you can't have the patience to be having, dealing with the crying, especially when the kids are playing, I'm crying. No, I wanted that property.
Yeah.
You didn't get it.
That's what I always
Should've
tell my
landed
kids.
on
I'm
it.
like, look, at least you know that when you finally win, you really won.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody gave it to you. You really won that.
Exactly. And it's the at the end of it, you're just like, I did that. So, and one time my oldest daughter beat all of us, and I was just like, how you feel?
Yeah.
I say, man, I feel good.
Of course.
I was like, yeah. All right.
Of course.
Till the next game.
The thrill of victory. Agony
Savor it.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, my family plays Monopoly every year on New Year's Eve. It's like a tradition. Like,
Oh, okay.
we play every year. We only play once a year.
Okay.
That's enough to get everybody's feelings back together by the next go round. But we we get like some nachos.
Yeah.
And like we make it as like a tradition. And we like the kids have like sparkling cider, so it feels like champagne.
Yeah. We do that too. Now, do you play the traditional Monopoly board, or is there a specific one?
So we
or you just
usually
choose?
play the Star Wars one, but only
Okay.
because that's the one we have.
Gotcha.
But we don't even have a traditional one.
Okay.
But we don't. But we're also
Death Star parking.
yeah, exactly. But we don't play any of that. That's nothing I don't fuck with in Monopoly.
No money under free parking.
No bullshit.
It ain't
No
paying
bullshit.
parking. It's free.
Correct. Correct.
Really?
It's you live.
We put all the tax money under that.
Fuck that. Fuck that. Handout shit. You landed on
That's
free
what community
parking.
chess is for, motherfucker.
You landed on that shit. You get to fight another day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm while you sit there and park your car for free. I'm just know I'm chiseling my fangs over here, waiting for that next dice roll. Because those reds and yellows are my baby.
Yeah. And I'm like, yo, don't roll 12 because I got the greens.
Oh yeah. The greens are vicious.
Greens
are vicious, but they're pricey. They're pricey to build.
Right.
But if you can get them up, so to speak, they're a problem.
If you play the game correctly and the way you're supposed to, you don't worry about Boardwalk and Park Place. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, yo,
I buy it for leverage.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah. Monopoly definitely turns into chess.
Yeah, for sure.
It absolutely turns into chess. A lot of people don't know
it's
that.
It's a strategy game with one single element of chance, and that's the dice roll.
Yes.
Everything else is strategy in Monopoly.
Yes, absolutely. So, I appreciate that, Bob, because it's like no one, I don't think, I play with people that don't understand the nuance of what that becomes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's just like, to hear that, it's just like, man, that's a Monopoly aficionado
for sure, man. I remember watching because my family used to play it too, like my dad and like everybody used to play. And I remember watching Hove's Dead Presidents music video in '96, and they were playing Monopoly with real money, and I was like, damn, that's a different type of rich. Like that's all I could think about as a kid. I was like, wow, fuck, man. Like, can you imagine? But
that's what's up. So Monopoly. What was we talking about? Was the collection, health. What did I forgot.
Oh, so you said in the beginning, you've got some changes going on in your life.
Oh,
and I think you mentioned family.
Yeah,
and I think you mentioned collecting.
Yeah,
we've covered some of that. Family, we're leaving a little bit to to the mystery.
Yeah,
and then you said associations.
Yeah. So my your personal life becomes the way you shape your personal life is usually around people, and it's like you got to start thinking about who you're hanging around and who you've had around you. I'm in a blessed stage of my life right now where I don't have a lot of drama and a lot of bullshit that I deal with other than dealing with the ex or whatever.
Yeah.
And and that's a given. Right. I've just chalked that up.
No beating that.
Exactly. You're not going to get
tied together forever.
Exactly. So I had someone in my life that I associated with pretty much all my life. He came into my life around when I was the age of 17.
Oh, wow.
And, we've been best friends for like years.
Yeah.
And we went through life together. We got married around the same time, well, not around the same time, but, we had our kids, and it's that those basic stages of life that you've gone through. He was also a part of that as well. I know his family, he know my family. You know how the whole best friend thing works.
Yep.
So as you he had a similar situation happen with his marriage where him and his wife split up. Just like, and mine's happened later, but
your lives in some way are mirroring each other almost.
Exactly. Yeah. Almost. Right, and I say it to say this, at some stage in your life, you have to understand that you've created things in your life in which you have to be responsible for.
For sure.
And that responsibility never goes away. It never fades. It never, ceases to stop your place in that role. I take my role as a father absolutely seriously, fuck relationships and, because even before I met Sean, I was like, my dedication is to my kids, because I'm the one that got them here, She didn't bring them here by herself. I helped her do that. And because that's a responsibility that I take very seriously, I make sure that I'm on top of all of that. visits, paying child support, doing everything that I'm supposed to do when it comes to making sure that they know that their father is available and around in every aspect of their life, school events, boyfriends, girlfriends.
You're fully committed.
Yeah, absolutely committed. So during this time, as we were coming up, I'd be trying to plan things where, he would bring his kids around and, I bring my kids around. There's always an excuse as to why, the girls can't come because, they got other things they got going on. Mm-hmm. So later on in life, eventually I just sat down and talked with his ex, and then she gave me the lowdown on everything that was going on. And I'm just like, and I didn't believe it at first, and still I started checking for stuff. You know how some things are a matter of public record. Mm-hmm. This brother, a former brother of mine now, $70,000 in child support arrears. Mm. Who the fuck does that? And it's just like, okay,
damn it. Well, I think that was like his monthly fee.
Yeah, well,
so he's only like 1 month behind.
Right. So
give the man a break.
And that spoke to his level of responsibility when it comes to his kids. And I was just like, okay, well, let me have this conversation with him. So he told me that, him and his ex, they're working that out, but he fed me a bunch of bullshit. Mm. It wasn't until I literally sat down, because I finally got this chance to see the girls. His ex was made a situation happen where I can, we can all hang out.
Right. And
I sat down and talked to them, and it's just like they had this disdain for him, and it was just like, he don't make any time and all this. I'm like, hold up, you've been around me all your life, pretty much a great majority of your life, and you had that going on, and you basically lied to me about your status when it comes to your kids. Mm-hmm. I don't play around with that. Now, he has a girlfriend who, was trying to get married to her. And then there was a thing where, he was trying to be happy about his engagement to this girl and all this. And I couldn't be happy because I'm just like, yo. And also his girlfriend is another friend of mine we went to school with. And it's just like, okay. And I know her personal life. I know what her life has been as well. It's like, okay, you're about to complicate this girl's life because, first of all, you got an active bench warrant out on you. Y'all get pulled over, it's a wrap for you. Wow. Because they looking for your ass.
Yeah.
And then, she was asking me why I wasn't happy and all that type of stuff. I said, I'll let him tell you. Because, when I just found out, I was just floored and I was just done with that whole situation. And then he didn't tell her. And then, she tried to reach out to me a couple of times. I was like, I gave him a limit. I'm giving him time to, be able to address that with you. So long story short, he didn't say anything to her. I ended up telling her, and then it became a whole thing. And then, it turned into, well, Derek, you used to do this. And I was like, okay, what the fuck that got to do with anything? What did that to do with the cost of tea in China? Mm. My responsibilities don't diminish when it comes to my kids. Y'all have been around my kids, as a matter of fact, and they can tell you how I am with them when it comes. Yeah, dad is strict. Dad is who he is, but dad is around. Mm. I don't leave them on the wayside. See, he did that. So as hurtful as it was at first, I was like, I can't deal with you, man. Fix that shit, and then holler at me then. But until then, we ain't got nothing to say to each other, man. Yeah. You lying to me all this time. I don't play that. So, but again, that's how I view people at that moment, because at that stage, even in the collective community, because it'd be some dumb shit that happened in our community,
every other week,
yeah, exactly. But but when it comes to people, even in our collective community, I'm just like, yo, I got no time for the bullshit. When stuff happens and it happens in my face, and it's just like, okay, I'm not gonna. Bobby, you know me. I'm not one to be writing up posts and telling about my situations, and you know, get on Facebook and revealing everything about my life.
No, you keep it pretty.
I keep
pretty
it
surface.
I keep it in the circle. You know, there's very few people that I actually really just talk to.
I mean, what you post publicly is usually like, you know, like this toy is good,
right?
This,
yeah,
you know, exactly. surface level stuff.
But when it comes to the background, you know, like, I got you, Eric B. I got, you know, everybody else that, you know, even Chris. I talk to, you know, on a personal level, let them know, okay, this happened, and then I'll get feedback from either one of y'all and be like, you know, all right, okay, maybe now the beautiful thing that I love about y'all is y'all keep it real with me, 100 all the time, and y'all will give me your opinions about it, and then y'all will say, well, Derek, you know, look at it this way, or, you know, you're right, you're about that. Or, you know, be like, you know, nah, man, you need to, you know, rethink that, you know, really think about that. But those are the type of friends and people that I like having around, because it keeps me in check.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to get in anything and, you know, think that I'm untouchable when it comes to any type of situation, because things can happen to me that would affect my livelihood and it would affect my relationships with people. It would affect my relationship with my woman, with Sean.
Right.
It's just like, you know, those are things that I secure and make sure that
can't jeopardize.
Okay. Exactly. So because of that, I have to be careful in my associations when it comes to the things that I do, the people I do things, you know, with, and you know, and the things that I do around people. Dude,
I've had so many. I'm talking just so you can get a sip of water, man. You've been going, but I've had so many of these relationships in the collector side of thing, because I try to be open and welcoming. But the truth is that, like, as I've gotten older, it gets harder because you learn from experience.
True.
And like, I feel like when I started doing it on my end, there was a lot of people that felt like they didn't have a place. And I thought it was cool to give a place where people felt like they belonged, but you might not belong here. You know, so I gotta vet you.
Yeah.
You know, because this might not be for you. But even with that, you know, there's been these instances. Like I'll give you an example. I don't even know if this dude is still alive. But I used to call him Cape Cod John.
Okay.
He has loaned me toys to review way back in the day.
Okay.
He has stayed in my house. He has slept in my house. He's eaten food from my table. Like, shit that means something to me. Where, like, if you reach that level of welcomeness with me, like, in my mind, you're going to treat that with a certain amount of respect, right? And he lost a ton of weight. That was like kind of this dude's story, right? He was like, you know, like 500 pounds, you know, in that category.
Okay.
And like, you know, this is before Ozempic. Yeah. You know, now he just smoked the boots off these motherfuckers. But he, you know, he lost like 400 pounds, like 300 pounds or some shit. Like, he got down to like 150, 160 just from like constant dieting. Just watching every fucking calorie, right, to the nth degree. It took him a long time, but he lost it all. Now he carried around like this sack of flesh, right, because that's how that goes.
That's what we all are.
Yeah, no bullshit. But like, I thought that shit was huge. Excuse the pun. You know, I was like, man, like the amount of willpower and dedication to that, to me, from a character level, says something about you.
Yeah,
I thought it was inspiring. Anyway. I have literally no idea what happened. But one day he hit me up and was just like, I don't know what's going on with you, but fuck you, you piece of shit, blah, blah. I completely out of the blue. Like, it would be like if Hannah did it. Like, just... like, there was nothing that I was like, oh fuck, he found out about such, you know what I mean? It was like nothing like that.
Just out of the blue.
Just completely out of the blue. And I you know, and I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on? And then he wrote me back like a year later. He went dark on me, like blocked me on everything, blah blah blah. I guess unblocked me. Wrote me back a year later and was like, I'm sorry, you were actually pretty good to me. I couldn't see my nose from my face. I got to go. And then disappeared again. And I've had these instances like this where people have like turned on me like violently. Now I've don't get me wrong, I haven't been a saint. There's some people where I'm like, man, like I probably should have done better by this dude. Like at the end of the day, like I could have done more. I could have done better. I wasn't giving that my full attention, and I probably should have. Okay. But that number is minuscule in comparison to the amount of people that have just betrayed me openly for no fucking reason. And like, so now I'm
no reason that
correct. Correct. So now I'm much more cautious about who I let get. I've put up multiple boundaries, whereas before there was kind of like just the point of entry. And then once you made the point of entry, welcome. Now there's the point of entry, but then there's the gate.
Yeah.
And beyond that is the castle wall. Mm-hmm. And then beyond that is like,
boat with the fucking crocodiles.
Yeah. And then eventually you can get all the way in, so to speak. And I just had to do it to protect myself because like, similar to what G Money said, like, hey, I can trust them today. Mm-hmm. But what about 5 years from now?
Right.
People change.
People change. And to talk about, like obviously I went through my thing with Adam, right? And like Adam was my longest running relationship that I had in my life outside of my father. Predates my wife. And like, but people when you're 11 and you become BFFs, right? And then you blink and you're 39.
Yeah.
You are far from the same person. And it's amazing when those two people have remained compatible in some way.
Well, I mean,
but it's rare.
Yeah. So it's similar in a lot of regards to a marriage, right? 100%. Obviously, most of the time without the sexual component,
right?
But that you have to, like, if you're going to maintain. And that's like any friendship, right? If you're going to maintain it long term as people change, then it requires work. Mm-hmm. You can't just show up and dump whatever you have morphed into in the last 3 months, 6 weeks, 2 years, dump it on the table and expect your friend from 5 years ago to be like, oh, I enjoy everything that you're dumping on this table because all your life experiences are different. Mm-hmm. So it does take a ton of effort to maintain.
Well, and like in those roles change, which is another fascinating element. And like, so I'm vocal on here about some of my issues with Adam, like in jokingly, but then, there's always a little truth behind the joke, obviously. But like, I'll give an example of where I fucked up. And I fucked up in not appreciating the evolution of my role. Case in point. So when we started being friends, we both had this geeky side to us.
Okay.
But he was much more geeky inside and out. Like I had this geeky side, but in my neighborhood, which you and I have talked about before, in my neighborhood, that was like something that was like a fourth or fifth date conversation. You know what I mean? So it wasn't that I wasn't outwardly facing geeky. I wouldn't like lie about it, but I wasn't like, it wasn't at the forefront. And I had a lot of tough guys around me, street guys around me. And when something would go wrong with Adam, especially when he moved away, because he grew up in the same town I grew up in, different side, but same town.
Yeah.
He moved to Frederick, and then he would get into, and Frederick was much more country back then, and he would get into an issue, and he would come in a minivan and pick me up, and I'd have a team ready. For whatever you want, I got you, because you're with me, and we'll go to the mattress, like whatever. Well, that's cool when you're 17, right? But I had a hard time letting that aspect of my role in our friendship go. So fast forward the clocks. It's Christmas. I'm 2 days, or Christmas season. I'm a week and a half away from being 38. And he has a Christmas party that you're supposed to bring a white elephant gift, right? And I don't really play that shit. I'm not good at having things taken from me. I know thyself, right? But he pushed me and pushed me and pushed me, so I agreed to do it, right? Because I don't do well under peer pressure. Ask Melina. And I'm there in this room, and somebody comes into this party and is partaking in the gift taking and didn't bring a gift. And in my head, you're taking advantage of my friend. And I had to make a mockery of this person. I was like, I saw her take something from someone. I saw her come in. I saw her empty-handed. And then it got to, I think maybe it got to me or it got to somebody else. And I was like, you should take whatever she brought. Which one is yours? Which one did you bring? Right?
On the spot.
But that was me trying to humiliate her.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, she was taking advantage of my friend.
Right.
My friend ended up taking huge offense to this because he invited her there. He wanted her there. He didn't care whether or not she brought a gift, and it was his party and his house and all that is 100% fair. It's 100% fair, and I was wrong. But I couldn't adjust my role of being a person that protects this dude. You know, and I have to take ownership for that. And that's not the only time it's happened. You know, it has happened before. I knew I was wrong, and I couldn't change. I couldn't change it. You know,
That's why I don't go to weddings.
That is tough.
well, except for
That is tough.
Well, I mean, I try not to go to weddings.
Right.
'Cause I know what's going to happen.
yeah,
You put me in an open bar,
I'm going to take full advantage.
it's going to happen.
Yeah,
You know, a bridesmaid's going to cry.
yeah.
You know,
I have
the
a
whole responsibility of that whole thing too. Not even a responsibility. It's the what is the word I'm looking for when it comes to that? It's the accountability of that whole thing. And you were holding her accountable for her action or her lack of action. You know, and
but I wasn't holding myself accountable for my action.
okay.
and there's nuance. Who knows if maybe Adam forgot to tell her that there was a white elephant?
Who knows if she's going through some hard financial time and he was like, look, you here is what matters to me. Not that I have no context for any of that.
Yeah.
So here's I'll give you another example, a quick example. I don't want to admit this isn't the Adam show. Not anymore anyway, but I'll tell you what. But he he's heavy into 40K, right? I don't know if he still is.
Warhammer?
Okay. Heavy on it. And there was some painting guru that paints these models and miniatures. You know, he's the man, right?
Okay.
And Adam paid this dude to come to his house to teach other people, including himself. It wasn't completely selfless, but teach him and this Beer and Bolters crowd that he had how to paint better, or new rules, tips, tricks, etc. But paid him to come out. So I don't paint this shit anymore, but he invited me, and I feel obligated to come because, so to speak, because I was invited. So I show up, and I walk down in the basement, and I got a fucking chip on my shoulder. I know I got a chip on my shoulder. And I got a chip on my shoulder because I think Adam is an incredible painter. And now he's paying this dude. This dude's making a ton of money teaching these other guys shit that my friend could teach, and my friend is paying you. And I've got a fucking issue with it. And I can't get out of my own head about it, you know? So I come in there and I'm fucking throwing my weight around, you know, and I'm making shit uncomfortable, you know? And I wrote out, and I was fucking wrong, you know? But I couldn't change roles. You know, I try not to say can't, you know what I mean? But like I was unable to.
Sure.
You know, and it's like, it's just a more of a thing about, you know, that same trait I have with my wife, right? But my wife still values feeling protected, you know?
Of course.
Adam is a grown ass man now. He doesn't need Bobby to come in. And the other thing about me, enough about me, let me tell you some more about me, is I am not good at hiding how I feel. I'm not good. If I'm upset, everybody knows I'm upset. If I'm happy, everybody knows I'm happy. If I'm sad, everybody knows. I can't disguise it. You said, I appreciate keeping it real. I don't know how else to be. Right. I'm not good at it. So like, same fucking party, the Christmas party, I had something I wanted. and somebody took it from me. And I had to watch somebody walk up and take something out of my hand. And I don't even care if it was something I didn't want.
That's mine.
It's mine. And I would never take anything from you.
Yeah.
So don't fucking, but that's the game, right? Now that one, I don't hold myself entirely, but I ruined the mood.
Yes.
For everybody, everything, everyone. It was a Christmas party, and I've tanked it because now I'm on you.
Yeah.
But the other side of that coin, though, is that Adam didn't know you well enough to know that that's not a game that you'd enjoy playing.
So that one I don't hold myself to blame for,
Right?
Because I even told him, I was like, "Look, I'm not
This doesn't-
meant for this."
Yeah,
You know,
I try
like-
to tell people all the time, like, look, I am not good in these situations. If
Yeah.
you really need me there, I'll be there. But I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
It's that old
Let me
saying,
tell you the risk you
when
run.
people tell you who you are, believe them. You know? It's plain and simple.
especially me. Like I am. Like I'll tell you, like, I'm gonna fuck this dip up. I'm like either get
I'ma
get
post up.
Look, get this stuff away from me. Like, things that white people say. But like if like either tell me, remove me from this, or be okay with me smashing this dip, because I found it delicious and I don't know when to stop with anything.
right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I definitely get that. But I see both sides of that. Dude, it's amazing. I see both sides of that. You're protecting your friend, but in that situation, your friend didn't ask to be protected because he already had everything,
He's
situated out.
He's an adult.
And
And I'm still playing. I still play by I had to constantly, like, I play by street rules sometimes. I play by I have to constantly remind myself of like you are 44 years old. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes, like,
Yeah.
But anyway, well, thank you for sharing all that. That's a hell of a catch up.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Like I said, man, it's been a minute since we.
It has
got
been a
together.
minute.
Damn, what was it? Oh no, it was the
400
500 show.
500.
The 500 show.
Yep.
That's when we last actually talked.
Yeah, with Sean here and everything. It was fucking great.
Right. And like I told you in the text message, I was like, dude, man, it feels like forever since we actually dialogued or said anything, even in our chat.
I still get comments about that episode of Jaina bringing people to tears in that episode.
Oh yeah, yeah,
which is great. Farrell, how was your nerd week?
Let me get back into my notes here. All right, so
Okay, yeah.
I have quite a bit of stuff,
Just be careful with the chair. Slide, slippity slide.
and I don't know where to start with this.
Okay.
So I'll start from the top. Good place to start. So I noticed this today.
Okay.
I normally stop on my way out here and pick up a
Coke Zero.
Tall boy Coke Zero. And I noticed a couple of bikers hanging out in front of the establishment. And they look exactly how you'd imagine,
Spandex shorts, helmets.
a motorcycle biker.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Bikers, of course. I'm
Not
such
health
an idiot.
conscious, eating quinoa. So, and it's just, I'm fascinated by this culture, right? Mainly because of the way they try to present themselves to random people just existing in the world that they're in, right? So, like, I pull up to a Highs.
Yeah, let's say.
Right? I don't even know what it is, right? A Carroll fuel station, fucking whatever,
Right.
7-Eleven. And I pull into a parking spot that's 3 away from where their collection of motorcycles is. No, they're off.
No, I know, just South Park shit, really.
Yeah. And they're just standing there. One of them is on the phone, on a cell phone, not a payphone. That'd be weirder.
And yet cooler.
Yeah, it actually would be. And as I get out of the truck, this guy's just mean mugging me for no fucking reason. Right? And I'm just kind of like, whatever. Walk in, get my Coke Zero, come out. Still mean mugging me. And I'm like, who are you, you fucking clown in leather and fucking chains and...
Turns out it's the guy from Poor Decisions last year.
No, I remember that guy. But it's just like 9:30 on a Friday morning, and like that's your idea of a good time is to hang out in front of the highs, mean mugging people, just going about their fucking business. I don't understand it, but it's not for me to understand. Do your thing, paint with all the colors of the rainbow, and
yeah, I think that like biker gang culture, like the changing of it over time, specifically in the last like 15 years, has become fascinating to me.
Yeah, and it's these weird like so they're like in an MC, a motorcycle club.
Yeah. Sorry.
But they're not like a 1%er. Like this guy probably is an accountant.
Right. So like,
and I know a couple of them through
Chucky O.
But I'm saying I know an MC from the normal area that like the one of them is a photographer, a very talented artistic photographer. Did I say photographer?
You got a great eye. Some people say she has two.
but you get him in the MC role, and now all of a sudden he goes by his MC
by the
name,
costume,
right?
It's like method acting,
and they're like at the bar, and they're like they're starting to puff their chest up, and they enjoy when people are a little bit like, ooh, look at the motorcycle club.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that guy takes fucking great photos of flowers.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. I, I remember who was that guy that's like responsible for Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, like the real life guy that used to like go out and do a ton of drugs, dog something like he does. Gonzo.
Yeah.
That his name, that was like his nickname, right? Gonzo, right?
He inspired that type of medium, Gonzo.
I'm pretty sure that was his nickname. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but you know the guy I'm talking about. He is the first one. Now my memory's a little sketchy on
Hunter
this.
S. Thompson.
Hunter S. Thompson, 100%. So he is the first one that got like in an exclusive interview with the Hells Angels. And the reason why the Hells Angels had such a hard time, or journalists had such a hard time documenting the Hells Angels, is because due to the time it was in, which was some time ago, whenever the Hells Angels was a tough motorcycle club or gang, whatever you want to call it. I don't going to get caught in semantics.
A 1%er MC.
Squad up. Whenever journalists would come around and try to get in, the dudes would start making out with each other. And it would stress out the journalists and turn them off and disgust them, quote unquote, to such that they would turn tail and thought it was too weird. Well, they did it in front of Hunter S. Thompson, and he did something like, can I be next? Like he like got in on it. Hey, Jana, welcome home.
Hey,
it was a good day at school.
It was a good day at school.
Okay. Are you Frederick Fair? Are you going up to the coffee? Yeah, 100%. Just when I'm done here, we need to talk about nothing, no trouble, just about what the plan is for today.
Okay.
For tonight.
Okay. Yeah, for tonight.
she had that look on her face like, okay.
But yeah, and they were like, oh wait, this guy's fucking cool.
Right.
Like, and he saw through the bullshit, and then he wrote, and then he ended up writing like this first major piece on the Hells Angels.
Yeah, so like I understand in theory the 1%er, because that's a counterculture. That's they're outside the normal bounds of normal society.
Yeah.
They have to do. I'm talking about Joe.
Right. No. I was just adding on to.
Yeah.
I was just adding on to like if you think about that behavior from one of the toughest gangs at the time, to how they would view that your average motorcycle group of guys now, how they would at least project to view that.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's fascinating.
It feels like LARPing to me. When like, and I'm not knocking if you want to ride your motorcycle and you enjoy it, and but it's like the whole mean mugging, and I'm like, dude, like who the fuck you?
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
So Robert Redford died.
He did. Rest in peace. Man.
So I decided to.
What role stands out to your head, Robert Redford?
Indecent Proposal and Lions for Lambs.
That's a good one.
The Natural.
Okay.
He's got a huge catalog. Right?
Godfather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what from mine. It's like instantly stands out.
You know, y'all gonna laugh, but I haven't watched Godfather yet.
Ever?
I haven't sat down and watched Godfather.
Oh, dude, you got to just for like they're the first two are good. The third one I can defend, but I won't. But you gotta watch it to see that second one. It's like an Empire Strikes Back type movie.
Oh, okay.
You gotta see that second one, and in order to appreciate the second one, you gotta see the first one, which is also good, but it ain't the second one.
Oh.
The second
First
one.
one's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one's good. It's solid. You know, it's solid. It's solid. But that second one is like up there, top 10.
All right.
So I decided to. I went into Tubi, you know, and just put in Robert Redford, and first one that came up was Lions for Lambs. You know, I'd seen it. You know,
Yes, I think I saw it when it came out on video or something.
yeah, I'd seen it before. So then, you know, I was going to watch more of them, and I just decided one's enough. You know,
You paid your homage.
Yeah, I was like-
Just time, man.
R.I.P. bro.
Check.
So I watched a bunch of other movies, and most
Oh, wow.
of,
All
most
right,
of
let's
them
get into
not for the first time.
Okay.
So like you know, we don't need to discuss too much. So I rewatched Fargo,
Okay. I haven't seen that in some time myself.
you know, and I wish I hadn't.
Really?
Yeah, the story could have been told in about 20 minutes and with 3,000 less. Yeah. And it just like, because I had seen it before and it's been so long and I rewatched it and I like remembered enjoying it, but I knew it was going to happen. So I'm not like into the actual story anymore. It became annoying. So it's just interesting to me to like, you can watch a movie for the first time, enjoy it, and then the second time, all the stuff that you just kind of push to the side for love of the game to get to the end of the story, that all just comes rushing back in, and you're like, this is annoying.
Yeah.
Right? So
It's interesting.
so we rewatched Scarface.
Yep.
And I'm really enjoying watching movies in a group setting.
I do too. I love it.
Right? I used to be the opposite.
Uh-huh.
I used to be like, I want to watch a movie. I don't want to hear you talking, your comments, your jokes. I want to enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
Now I appreciate the comments and the jokes and the other stuff 10 times more than I do the movie.
Especially if it's a movie that you kind of know like the back of your hand, though.
Well, no,
Especially, I know the new ones have been fun too. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying like even like that Scarface one was especially because like everybody's like oh, here we go, like
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah, watch this part. This is a good part.
yeah.
So that was great.
Okay.
I watched Stranger Than Fiction with Will Ferrell.
Oh, okay. I've seen that.
And
That's like his more serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Notes, great movie. I just really enjoyed the line, I think I'm in a tragedy. Right? I really enjoyed that line.
Yeah, it's good.
I watched American History X
Okay.
again.
Ed Norton.
Ed Norton, who's ripped as fuck.
Yeah. Want to know a fun fact about that story, about that movie?
Is it going to be about the alternate ending?
No.
Because that's in mine.
So Ed Norton's grandfather is the guy that developed the town that I grew up in. And Ed Norton grew up in that town on the other side of 29, which is a distinguishing factor.
Now they can just look it up.
Yeah, well, no, I've said it before. I grew up in Columbia.
Yeah.
But
I think I heard this.
there was a gang in the 80s in the west side of Columbia that spilled into the 90s. I call it like the tail end of them. But their name was Cloud 9. That was
I've heard of them.
and their signature move was the teeth on the curb.
Curb stomping.
And Ed Norton brought that to the table because of growing up in that west side of that town, and which is not known for like that sort of. But there's this one little pocket in that side and that's where these guys were from, largely Cloud 9.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's an alternate ending
Okay,
that I thought was interesting.
so the real ending is the kids killed at school.
Kids killed at school. Ed Norton is distraught about it,
And
and then
he's-
they cut to the on the beach voiceover of the kid where he reads portions of the paper that he wrote
Oh, right,
and tells that story.
right.
So the alternate ending that the director wanted and was eventually overruled by the Paramount or whoever it was that it would cut to Ed Norton, who had just shaved his head again. Like he's going back to that life. So
because of that, because
more of a retribution and the never ending cycle of violence.
Yeah.
And what it does that you can't stop the.
It's a darker ending, but I don't know if I dislike it. In the sense of it being a tragedy, like a full tragedy,
right?
With no, like it all sucks.
Yeah, but so I thought about it because that was my original opinion, right? When I read about the alternate ending, was like, oh, that might have been more powerful. But then I think about how it would have been received, and it would have made all of the gains that I think the movie made for naught.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then it would have really not made sense with. Do you remember the breaking point of Ed Norton's character in that movie? After he'd been raped, and he's dealing with the principal.
What, in prison?
Yeah, so
It's that other guy that was working laundry with him, right? Wasn't that the, okay?
That's not the breaking point. So he gets raped by his own gang, the White Power.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And Sweeney, the black, his teacher, but is now the principal of the school, who's been dealing with his brother, who's like a gang outreach person, goes to see him at the infirmary, and he's like, Ed Norton's kind of like feeding him lines of like things don't make sense. I'm not quite sure about it. And, Sweeney's pushing back like, yeah, it's because you're wrong. Like, this racist shit is wrong. And he's like, listen, I told you I was confused. Not that I don't believe in it. And then Sweeney says to him, what have you done in your life that has made it better? And that's the breaking point of that character. Because he realizes that all of that energy put out in a negative way is just bringing back more negative energy and pain. And that's when he starts to flip, right? And then it shows him actually working with the laundry. I can't remember that.
Can't remember his name either. The one that he always called him Peckerwood.
Yeah.
That's what
I remember the brothers.
That's what we called Ed Norton. Like, what's up, Peckerwood?
Yeah. So, but that's where then he starts talking to him, and then he sees the humanity in the people that he never
saw humanity
in before.
Yep, 100%.
So for him to switch back at the end would have meant that all of that was nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
And that humans are base rage and not base positive.
Yeah.
Right. So
and rationale.
I just thought it was an interesting thing.
No, I agree.
I watched 1984.
Before you get into it, you said something about an alternate ending.
That was it.
That was it.
That when the brother's killed, he flips back to the neo-Nazi side. That Ed Norton flips back to them.
See, I haven't watched the movie, so I gotta.
Oh no,
you never.
But there's a reason. I know about the movie. Yeah. But I kind of stayed away from it during that time. I was like, I can't remember what was going on during that time, but something in me was like, leave that one alone for right now. And
yeah, it's it's a good one.
It is good.
But I do want to catch it though. I mean, I am going to catch it.
Yeah. So and I hate that I accidentally just spoiled.
No, you're good. You're good because that just tells me that hey, I think you can probably handle it. So just go ahead and check it out.
It's
back then, because of the premise of what I was
that is some sort of
glorification
of it or something.
Yeah, it was like not right now.
Yeah. A lot of people thought it was the glorification of it when it came out.
Yeah,
just because of that's the imagery that's forward facing.
Yeah, the marketing.
But it is. I think it's an important movie in American cultural stuff because it shows, to me at least, it shows that people can easily be
run to the mob,
but then there can be they can be saved from it too.
Okay.
So that's why I think the alternate ending says that they can't be saved. That's why I think that that side, it wouldn't have been as good a movie.
Yeah. No. I think that's fair. I think I'm attracted to just ultimate tragedies,
Sure.
But I think you're right. But I think that there's a part of me that always is like, man, fuck it, Empire Strikes Back it.
Yeah. Well, I think with this alternate ending, it would have been the movie that you were trying to avoid.
Okay.
Right. That's fair.
Right.
That's fair.
But with the actual cut ending, the way they did it is a movie that it's real, and it is got a lot of tough things to deal with, but it does have a positive.
There's hope.
There's hope in it. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So I watched the movie 1984.
Ever heard the Bowie record?
I've read the book.
So the Bowie record is fantastic. It has almost like a. I'm gonna play a snippet of it. Have you ever heard it? 1984 by David Bowie. So he was really. He started working with Isaac Hayes during this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this. And you can hear it. You can hear like that Shaft era. You know.
Sean's a David Bowie fan.
Oh my God, he's one of the greatest.
Yeah.
She's a smart girl, but I always knew that. Here.
That is.
Strings. Yeah, what a guy. Rest in peace, Bowie.
All right. Nice.
One of my top fives.
So way different feel than the movie.
Fair.
So it's from like the late 70s. You know, it's real close to the book, you know, fascism.
Yeah.
You know, it's way dirtier than I remember it. So
Like
way more-
sexually?
yeah, full frontal nudity.
Oh wow.
You know, like the 70s are fucking crazy.
Yeah, but they were the best.
Yeah, it's like-
That's like, oh, I feel like I missed out.
Yeah,
Like
Bush
some of
all
the best
over the
music,
place.
some of the best movies, like you know, like Clockwork Orange, fucking Full Metal Jacket.
Give her a little
fucking-
the old in out and out.
Yeah,
you
The
know?
Exorcist, fucking like, you know, like the original Star Wars,
Yeah.
you know, like 2001: A Space Odyssey, like just so many like super iconic,
Yeah.
like, you know, like what a time.
And it just felt like more gritty.
100%, 100%.
So then I watched this other movie only because Tubi suggested it to me. I don't know why. Called Pleasure.
Takes place in Thailand.
No, so it's about a girl entering the porn world.
Yeah. I came up for me too.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, that's fucked up. Y'all think so,
Fiction or doc?
but no, it's yeah. I saw that come up too. I haven't watched it yet, but
So I started watching it because I was like, oh, I know why they suggested it. And it wasn't good enough to keep me watching. There's plenty of TNA.
Was it made within the last 5 years?
Yeah.
That explains it.
You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, it just I don't know. It just showed like I have a particular view of women, and like this bitch is dirty.
Uh-huh.
Like there's fucking flies on a fucking plate in a refrigerator, and I was like, ugh. Like,
oh,
gross.
you talking about that dirty?
Yeah, yeah. No, I like the other 30. But yeah, it's just and that's like it just felt like. So the way it was presented was it was supposed to be like an honest look at the porn industry and like what people have to go through and everything like that. And I was like, oh, that's interesting to me. But it just came off as like the director almost thought that he had to put up a ton of TNA, a ton of sex, and then they can slip their message in. And I was like, just make the real movie and stop putting all the other stuff in. You know, because I was just like, I'm done. Like, whatever. Didn't get there fast enough for me.
Okay.
So to speak.
All right. So the rest of my notes, I don't know how much we want to talk about.
All right.
So the whole Kimmel Colbert thing.
Oh man, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
So I haven't found Jimmy Kimmel funny since The Man Show,
Agreed.
right? But that doesn't matter because late night television, especially comedy showcase shows, aren't for me. And they might be for my demo, but but they're not for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't find most of the stuff on ABC, NBC, CBS to be funny
100%.
anyway.
Agreed.
But there are plenty of people that do.
Agreed.
And that's fine.
That's also fine.
I don't think Kimmel or Colbert's ratings were bad enough for them to get fired.
I agree.
And I think it's all Brendan Carr showing off for Trump, pushing a policy, and I think it's wrong.
So I agree with you. I agree with you. You agree? Okay, so we're all on the same page.
1000% agree.
We're all on the same page.
Yep.
So here's my thing. I had this conversation with somebody last night. To me, my beliefs, my values are all based on the strength and virtue of the value. Doesn't matter who's using the value, right? So I believe in freedom of speech.
Yep.
I wholeheartedly believe in it. I believe in it the way that, like, you know, the guy that has the arsenal of weapons that are all, you know, locked and loaded and, you know, ready to hunt and defend his home in the same breath defends the Second Amendment. I defend freedom of speech.
Yep.
I'm signed on. I think Kimmel is a fucking hack. I think Colbert is even worse. But freedom of speech is what I'm signed on for. So I think that Ice-T should be able to make a record called Cop Killer and put it out because I believe in freedom of speech. I think to shoot someone in front of their family, let alone in front of their family, but to shoot someone over their point of view is disgusting.
Sure.
I think removing people from media because their point of view doesn't align with yours is disgusting, even if my view just don't align with theirs.
Right.
Because I'm committed to the principle of freedom of speech. It has nothing to do with whether or not I agree. I'm committed to the principle. The Westboro Baptist Church, when they got out on the corner and said God hates F words, right?
Frank's?
I think it was Frank's. Which to be fair, like your hamburgers over hot dogs, I get it.
Yeah.
But the other F word, right?
Fidelio.
I couldn't disagree more.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I think it's an awful thing to do. I think to say that these, and then when they started going like, well, the soldiers are coming back dead because God is punishing America for celebrating homosexuality, I think is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Couldn't disagree more, but I would defend their right to do it till the fucking sun came down because the principle
It matters.
is what matters to me, not the message.
So, I mean, I was in uniform
At
being
that time.
being heckled by the Westboro Baptist Church. And we just stood there and kept people away from them, and you know, people that wanted to cause issues with them because that's their fucking
Literally
right.
defended.
Literally.
Yeah.
So-
Tip of the hat.
You know, it is what it is. So, but I also like, you know, we say freedom of speech a lot. A lot of people don't really understand. Not saying that you guys don't, just in general. So that it's protection from the government, right? So like your employer has the right to fire you for things you say. Like I agree with that. But this case is literally the government
Yeah.
telling an employer to fire you for what you said.
Yep.
That is the freedom of speech.
It's unacceptable.
It's crazy to me.
It's unacceptable.
And it's crazy that there's like that people that used to be for freedom and small government are now for the antithesis of that.
So let me tell you what grinds my gears.
Okay.
And I realize it more and more.
Lack
the
of
older-
lubrication.
Yes, especially with this apparently thin-skinned dick I got. But inconsistency,
Uh-huh.
right? So Gina Carano says, and we'll take the government out of play, right? But I agree with you.
Yep.
Take the government out of play for a minute. Gina Carano says that trans women aren't women. She loses her gig at Disney, and I don't get a Hot Toys figure, which seems like the biggest blasphemous element of it all.
Truly.
But they,
Thicker than a snicker too.
but they take her out of play,
Yep.
right, for her beliefs. And I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. She can feel that way. It is okay for her to feel that way.
Right.
Colbert, for instance, right? You ever seen the famous skit, or not skit, unfortunately? You ever seen the famous back and forth between Colbert and Jon Stewart over whether or not COVID was created in a lab?
Yeah, I did see that.
I've seen
It's
it, I just don't remember it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So Colbert's like, well, we're not sure. The evidence of that is not out. And Jon Stewart is like, the factory, the lab, is called the coronavirus lab. Like, maybe it's a coincidence, but like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just such
Maybe
like,
they're just drinking beer.
and Jon Stewart just owns him like in the palm of his hand. Like Colbert can't go, he's trapped, right? And I think Colbert started off doing something interesting and has become some sort of a parody of itself and disgusting in some way. But in the same breath, people were upset on one side about Carano, but they're celebrating
Right.
Colbert and Kimmel. On the other hand, people were upset about Colbert and Kimmel, but they were celebrating Carano. And in my opinion, that's not putting the virtue first.
Well,
That's
so-
putting your preference first.
So the Corona thing, like Disney can look at the numbers and say the backlash from these statements is going to cause us financial pain. So we are going to get ahead of this and release her.
Right. That wasn't what happened.
Right, but
I agree with you, and you're comparing it to government again.
Yeah.
And I agree with you on that. But I'm not talking about the circumstances. I'm talking about the people from the outside judging it.
But I'm just saying, but the free market, because she came back, right?
No,
She is. She's back now.
She's back.
no, she's not.
No, she settled.
They settled.
She won the
But she's not
settlement.
back.
She's not.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
I
not
thought
back. But
she
she
was-
did win that
She
settlement.
did win this,
though.
rightfully so.
I thought she
and
was
Elon
back
paid for that
to,
lawyer.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
she was back to not being in charge, but giving.
She was never in charge. She was an actress on the set of Mandalorian, and they basically, after they lost the court case, they said, well, the directing staff and other actors and actresses got along with her great. So would love to work with her in the future. But that's PR horseshit,
Right.
you know?
So, but yeah, so I mean, like, they could bring her back if
They
if there was enough.
They could, yeah.
If there was
Yeah.
enough
'Cause
people,
it's
saying,
not like
"We
they
want
actually
this."
killed off her character, or
Right.
she
just
just
disappeared.
disappeared. You
Yep.
know, it was just like you didn't see her or hear
and then,
about her.
And then it's also okay for the consumer to be like, I disagree with what she had to say, and I won't support this anymore.
Right.
That's perfectly fine. You know,
Right.
that is the free market. Right.
So the only other note I have in here on that, and this is the last of it, is that I hope when this regime is out of power, in whatever way, whether it's just JD Vance or whoever, whoever is next fixes all of the loopholes that have been exploited.
They won't.
But I doubt they will.
Yeah. they'll exploit it further.
It'll only get worse
They'll just play it for their team.
year after year until it doesn't resemble the thing it was ever supposed to be.
Agreed. Because that's how these motherfuckers play, dude.
Yep.
It doesn't left, right, rep, dem. I don't give a shit. If a Republican pushes a situation, finds a loophole, finds an angle, finds a back alley, the Democrat that follows them just is going to line that back alley with dynamite and blow it out just a little bit wider. And the Republican that follows him is going to line that same now demolished alley with another layer of dynamite and push it a little bit further. Like, none of these motherfuckers give power back.
but they're also going to control the traffic too. Coming through that.
Yeah, but and the traffic, who the traffic is may change, but the power, which is the principle,
Just grows.
just grows.
And that's why I think I'm in a tragedy.
Yeah.
That's
and
well
the reason
framed.
why I say control the traffic is because, they're going to blow that hole wide for that traffic to come through, but they're going to choose who is a part of that traffic and who is actually going to come through it.
Yeah, I
Because
don't
you're
think
going to
it
have these supporters. You had everybody that was, okay with that. Yeah, it's okay. That's cool that you're okay with it, but you can't come with us. We don't want you to come with us. We want them to come with us.
Yeah, I don't think
You
it
know,
changes
and-
the traffic necessarily. I think that the the writing on the side of the truck going down this road changes between whoever's in charge and whatever the people. But the contents of the fucking truck are exactly the same.
Yeah,
shit.
it's like
That's
an electronic. It's like an electronic billboard on the side,
Right.
And it's just like,
Right.
and it's just like Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, Trump. But the truck's contents,
It's the same shit.
they're hedged for that fucking brick wall. You know, like,
Yeah.
I agree.
Man, it's absolutely asinine.
My new phrase is more music,
Because-
less television.
I look at that. Somebody brought this up, and I was like, "No, that's not the same thing." Okay, so the whole Kimmel Colbert thing with Trump influencing their jobs. Someone said to me, "Well, Michelle Obama did the same thing to Roseanne Barr." I was like, "It's not the same thing," and here's why: because what Roseanne Barr did was racially motivated. None of what they did, none of what Colbert or Kimmel did was the same thing. It was Trump using that, taking that situation personal, using that as a personal thing and spinning it to benefit him. What Roseanne Barr did was straight disgraceful. It was because it was Obama's former office. It was an office assistant or something like that, and then she compared her to. She likened her to Planet of the Apes, monkeys and whatnot. So it was a whole. It became a whole racially charged, offensive situation.
But that's okay,
That's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
It's not the same thing.
She should be able to say it.
But she should be able to see. Yes, she should be able to say it. But with the director of ABC at the time removing Roseanne from the show and just totally canceling that show altogether because of that whole thing, I think that could have been handled differently.
Yeah.
But they later cleaned it up by bringing the show back, but bringing it in a different format. The Connors.
But wasn't Trump the president when that happened?
No. Biden was president. No, hold on. Let me think about it. But Trump was president.
So-
The first run.
Then there was no.
It was
then
the
there was
first
no.
run.
then
So
there was-
Michelle Obama
had no.
had no
Had no
actual
pull.
political. So she might have
You
suggested
can't.
it.
She has no governmental pull.
Right. But that's not the same
Agreed.
as
Agreed.
directing Brendan Carr to say to ABC or whoever,
That's what
if you keep these people on, I'm not going to approve your merger.
exactly.
Agreed.
Right.
And that's why I said it's not the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's definitely not.
Yeah, that's what. But the racial thing to me doesn't make it any different to me, because to me it's the virtue. I want to know if you're racist. I want to know.
True.
I want to know if you're anti-Semitic. I want to know. I want to know what time it is with you, because then I can move appropriately around you. And I'm also like, I wish I could talk about something that I can't. But I did an episode of Kitchen Table, which is available on Patreon for those listening. And
It's only $10 a month.
yes, only $10 a month. And there was a story that a guy told on there where they did something to someone. Let me pause it real quick and I'll tell you. Okay.
Okay.
And then we'll come back. But it'll give me an opportunity to save, which is always a blessing, especially when you're an hour and 40 minutes in. So that's the story, right?
Okay.
And I know both guys. I know the guy that made the complaint, and I know the guy that did the prank, right?
Yeah.
And they're both great guys.
Yeah.
But I try to reserve judgment on people's intentions and motivations. So, like I was saying before, believing in the goodness of people, erring on the side of optimism. Like, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt until you remove all doubt. And then I gotta make decisions.
Yeah.
Similar to
Yep.
cutting off your friend or whatever.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I try to, you did the research,
Yep.
did a couple Googles, you try to give them that benefit of the doubt until, you know what I mean? So that's where I stand with some of that stuff. I don't know, Roseanne Barr. The show was great when I was a kid, and that's about all. And I never watched the Connors, and I certainly wasn't watching it when fucking Biden was in office, So,
So the other part about freedom of speech is that it's not hard to defend when it's good stuff.
Exactly. It's when it sucks.
It's when it sucks
That's when it matters.
that's when it matters. And I mean, like,
Because the dangerous stuff is the stuff they take away.
well,
Nobody
because it's a
takes.
slippery slope,
Correct.
right? Because it starts with the low hanging fruit, but then eventually it gets to stuff that you believe,
Yeah.
stuff that, you know, that's just counter to what whoever's in charge wants you to think or
Yeah.
say. But yeah, I mean, it was tough to get literally spit on in uniform and be like,
Yeah.
great.
Yep. Here I am to protect you.
But that shows
Thank God for
the
you.
strength of your resilience of, you know, that situation. Because unlike some people, you learn not to take on the job that you were on. You at some point learned how you're supposed to be at that job. You learn mentally how to remove yourself from, you know, remove your emotions from certain situations.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and the other thing is like it's because the virtue is so important that it's worth
Defending.
no, it's worth some personal uncomfortability in order to preserve.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like now I'm allowed to defend myself physically if they were to swing on me,
Absolutely.
you know, and spitting at the time, because this is like 05 or whatever, spitting wasn't, you know, the way it is now where Trump says, you spit, we hit, you know. But it was just kind of like, it was our,
That guy in Florida, remember, if you spit on one of my officers, you're going to get beat up.
Yeah.
And you're going to go to jail.
Yeah.
But so-
I was like, okay.
but our standing, like when we were there, like they're saying like, you know, just move a step further. Maybe they won't be able to spit on you from that far. And if they do, take another step. Just take another step, but hold the line. So it's like, but I believed and I believe in that principle. So it's worth that uncomfortability and minor harassment. Like it's just words at the end of the day. Like,
True.
And I think, like, man, like, I don't know if maybe I'm a weirdo, right?
well, that's for sure.
Yeah, okay, fair. But like you take like Osama bin Laden, right? The dude flew or was responsible for planning, you know, the biggest terrorist attack this country's ever seen. And you know, my father was a fireman, so like it hits me on some level, and truthfully. But the fact that like when they went in that house, they had to kill his son. That's a casualty of war because of this situation. And I'm not saying that it's not ultimately worth it. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that there's a human element of me that's just like, damn, man, that kid never had a chance. You know, that kid didn't ask to be born into that situation. And, you know, that kid never had a chance. And I think about when shit like that happens, I think about that shit. And I'm like, man, it's a bummer. Like, yes, Osama bin Laden sucks. Yes, 9/11 sucks. Yes, all that stuff. But like, it just sucks that it also sucks. Like, two things can be true. It also sucks that this kid was born into this environment, and it doesn't matter what happened. That kid, he was on a trajectory. I sometimes, with my mopping gig, run into certain places that need to be mopped, and you see certain unfortunate circumstances, and you look at a kid, and you're like, man, like, you don't even have a fighting chance, bro.
And that's here.
And it's fucking heartbreaking.
And that's
you know?
here.
Yeah.
And like, when I extrapolate that, like for me, it's the same. Like, so I take like the Kirk situation, right?
See, I intentionally stayed away from that one.
But it's all Todd,
I know.
right? So like,
I'm just trying
That-
to get it canceled on
right.
5:30.
And I'm not trying to do a deep dive on it necessarily, but like, you know, disagree with them, agree with them, whatever. Like to like most people in the world, I disagree with on some things,
Absolutely.
and I agree with on some things. But that dude was killed in front of his fucking kids.
It's crazy.
You know, and to like not have a shred of sympathy for that. For me, it's like the same like Osama bin Laden's kid. It's like, but maybe I'm weird. Where it's like maybe I'm thinking about the fallout of shit like that, and I'm just like, man, like to once again to not care is one thing.
Right.
To be like to celebrate,
Yeah.
is something
That ain't
totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because you know I spent a couple of years overseas, And I think about the people that were actively engaged against us, and they don't have an education system. They don't have access to the internet. They're not weighing information and deciding what's true and what's not. I mean, half of them can't even fucking read.
Your perception is your reality.
Right? And there's a bunch of religions in the history of the world that intentionally keep people illiterate so that the priest or whatever, the shaman, the pastor, the imam, whoever, can just say whatever the fuck they want because nobody else can check them.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right? So it's like you get into that part of it and you're like, man,
Yeah.
sorry, bud, you got born in the wrong place and now my country with all our shit is going to come in here and put fucking 2 hot rounds through your face.
Unfortunately, you drew the short straw.
Like,
It's a hell of a straw to
it's
pull.
a weird fucking thing to think about.
Yep. Do you mind if I take over?
I think I've ruined the mood enough.
Well, I got. So the other day, I'm driving to work. I'm leaving for work in the morning, and I come out of my neighborhood, and this car, I could have got in front of him. I could have, but I was like, you know what?
Be nice.
Be nice and let that car go. It's a 25 mile per hour road, right, with a camera. So,
you go that way.
yeah. So I'm like, I always give the benefit of the doubt, and I'm like, man, this motherfucker is moving slow because that he knows that camera's there, and he's trying to avoid a $40 ticket, right? So I pulled out behind him, so to speak, and he's going slow still. Now, I didn't ride his ass, so to speak, but I held back. But he pulls off onto this little corner and lets me get around him. And in my stupid idiot head was like, what a thoughtful guy. Like, he knows he wants to go super slow, and he's just getting out the way. He zips behind me, puts his high beams on, gets about, like, he gets so close to my bumper,
You can't see his
I can't see his headlights, and I take off, right? And there's a lot of turns and curves there. It wasn't easy driving, and he's staying with me. And I'm not the best driver in the world, but I'm not the worst. And he's hanging with me.
Okay.
So I hit a red light. He's behind me. I can hear him yelling. So I roll down the window, and all I hear is motherfucker, fucking motherfucker, et cetera, et cetera. And I just yelled out, fight me or shut up, which I shouldn't have done because I'm trying to turn a new leaf.
Same leaf.
I shouldn't have
Different
done.
day.
It was a
Same
mistake.
Bob.
It was an error in judgment. So he doesn't fight me, and he doesn't shut up. So
course.
it was all for nothing. So then we get on 70. He still following me. I'm weaving in and out of traffic, just trying to let this dude do whatever he wants to do, following me every step of the way, sometimes flashing his lights at me. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? He eventually gets off at the next exit, Mount Airy, and I'm going down. Now, 5 minutes later, I'm like, man, like, I can see this fucking highway like a motherfucker today. Like, I don't, maybe I'm just in tune. I didn't drink last night. Like, maybe I'm focused. Like, maybe I'm start dringing alkaline water. Like, like maybe I'm on my shit. Maybe take supplements.
Maybe Laura's putting extra shit in your smoothie.
Possible, that tricky bitch. And I look down. So my steering wheel comes up and blocks most of my display. Like
You had your high beams off.
I had my high beams on.
Oh shit, yo. Yo.
So he probably thought I was an asshole. Now, here's the thing. Had I known, I would have changed it. Had I known that's what he was yelling at, I would have apologized. But I still think it was an inappropriate response to my high beams. I was wrong for having the high beams on. I take responsibility for that.
Sure, right.
But I think that, so I was behind other people, and they didn't act a fool.
They never said anything.
You know what I mean?
You know what they all thought?
What?
This motherfucker with his high beams is an asshole.
And I was, and that I deserve. That I deserve.
They took the road to low resistance. That's what it was. So, and then this guy was like, nah, man, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something.
Yeah. And I thought, and he wanted to, I think he wanted to fight me. And I can't help but wonder if this was the same guy I had an issue with one time at the, I talked about it maybe a couple months episodes ago, but like he pulled up beside me. He thought I was riding his ass, and maybe I was, but I never headlights where you can't see my headlights. Just something to be like, all right, let's we all got places to be, right?
What if it's the same guy? And he's like, this motherfucker finds me every.
So that's what I started thinking. Here I am.
Is this his origin story? He turns into like the professional highway bandit.
Yes.
Just-
Right.
just,
Yeah.
like going out there, like anybody that's got their high beams on leaves their blinker on for too long. He starts murdering them in the street.
There's a movie about that. It's called Unhinged.
So,
That's right. Yeah.
so I saw.
Had a bad day.
So
Or about to.
and I think that's the end of my my bad news and the downward. So let me tell you about a great thing that happened. And I won't go too much in depth because I talked about it on Wine and Cheese a bit, but took my kids to the Clips concert.
Oh yeah.
And so we're in the third section back, front row of the third section. Decent seats, not amazing, but decent. And the lights good. After Earth Gang opened, they were kind of fine. I'm not a huge fan of them, to be fair. And then the Clips came on, and my kids are going fucking insane. But specifically Selena. Like, she's got my wife's phone recording the show. She's yelling and screaming every fucking word to songs I don't even know. Like, I know the song, but I don't know the words at all. It was like my D string, like, oh, damn, we've been listening to Clips for 3 hours. I guess I can rock this one, Right. She's knowing every fucking word, belting it. So this guy comes in the row in front of us, and he's got like a camera, but like a proper one, big ass lens, and other cameras hanging around his neck. And
Imagine how crazy you can get with open access if you just pretend to be a photographer for the event.
That's true. That's true. So I said to Selena, I like whispered in her ear, well, yelled because it's the fucking concert, and I was like, hey, you see that guy? I'm sure that's their photographer. If you want to end up on their Instagram or something, go nuts. So she cranked it up to 12. It was at 11. She cranked it up to 12. After like a whole song of belting every lyric, my baby's dancing, fucking, the guy comes up and is like, hey man, do you guys want VIP? And I was like, absolutely. Wow. So he takes us out of there. We get into VIP. We're like right next to the stage. Yeah. My kids once again going crazy, belting every fucking word, filming it, like yelling along. They did like 3 songs we got to see from that, 3 or 4 songs we got to see from that perspective. Okay. But like, it's like, this is just how deep the cut was, right? And that's not the record, but what happened. They did this song called Virginia, which is like one of their anthem.
Bag it up.
Yeah. Where there's nothing to do but cook. And they were on this label, the Neptunes label called Star Trek. And they used to do the Spock hand signal for Star Trek. So they start yelling, we're from Virginia. Selena throws up a Star Trek V and a Star Trek A down for like Virginia, like why she's belting these lyrics. And this guy is like looking at her almost to a point where it's weird. Okay. Right. And then he walks over and he's like, hey man, I'm the stage manager. Would she like to meet him? And I can't even hear him. I found this later. But I'm like, I get the impression, I get the vibe of what's going on. So I was like, whatever you can offer, I'm sure they'd love it. Because I don't know even what's on the table. So they take us backstage. Yeah. They go backstage. We fucking meet them, hang out. My kids are like in shell shock. They can't believe it. They're hugging them. They're talking. Like, the one guy, the stage manager, he's like, yeah. Then he tells a story. Then I get to hear his perspective. That's how I got to hear. And he was like, and that girl, he points to Selena, knows every fucking word, And they're like, and then Push is like, let me hear it, And Selena's like, I can't do it on the spot. And I was like, you lied in front of me. I just said that. And Selena was like, you died in front of me. Calabasas took your bitch and your pride in front of me. And then as soon as she said bitch, like the whole room has got like 15 guys in it. They're like, oh, they're like going crazy. Like, we got to take group pictures. They gave like swag bags and shit with like all this stuff. And when they gave the swag bag, my baby, of course, like belts out like, what's in it? And like the guys are like telling us what's in it, but they like understand the there's like my whole family in there and like everything. And he's like, a keychain. He like bows his head in shame. And he's like, a razor blade. And it's not like a real razor blade, but the VIP pass was like cut out to look like a razor
blade. Yeah.
It's just smart branding, but and they all got to talk, and I mean, we were backstage for probably 15, 20 minutes, and then they took us out a side exit so we could get like avoid the crowd and get right to the. We go to the car. My kid is crying, like Selena's crying, like all the way to the car. But like, so I'm seeing Sleep Token next week, and the baby
you're going to be crying.
maybe, but the baby for sure. The baby was like, "Wait till we get backstage with them," and I was like, "Listen,
Yeah,
this is a once in a lifetime experience." She's like, "Oh no."
it's going.
We're getting backstage. And I was like, okay, well, maybe we are, because I wouldn't have thought this was going to happen. But like, what a phenomenal first concert experience for those two. You know, like
I saw the pictures, man. I was like, yo, they
insane.
They are living it right now, man.
Insane.
That's what's
It
up.
might be a bad thing though.
Yeah, because nothing will ever compare.
Like if the first mountain you ever climbed was Everest.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yep.
I think about like when I get asked, like being a big music nerd, like when I get asked, like, you know, what was the first concert you saw? And I got to like kind of like, not that it's shameful, but I got to like kind of hang my head and be like, Neil Diamond at Pier 6, ironically, with my father. And people are like, oh,
Cool.
Caroline. Yeah, bum, 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 right? Am I right? You know, and I'm like, yep, that's the one. That's the one. And my kid's story is all, with those two anyway, is always going to be that. You know, they're like, look, I'm going to tell you it, but you're not going to believe it. You know?
Yeah, the only other side though is that most people know who Neil Diamond is,
Yeah.
and there's only going to be.
So many that know who the Clips are. Yeah, that's fair. But I think even
But
if,
it's still a fantastic story.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, once in a lifetime experience, and like so. Anyway, they ended up going to Rome. Clips went to Rome. Like that happened. That concert was like on a Wednesday. I ended up sending, like, I got pictures together, and my baby wanted to wear this Clips T-shirt she had bought to school, but my mother-in-law wasn't sure about it, so she was like, "Let's wait for a different day for that."
Yeah.
And wouldn't let her wear it. I would have let her wear it, but
Yeah, you would have.
Yeah.
But what would have happened when she was in school, though?
well, so it's funny because like when she got the shirt, my baby's 9 years old.
Yeah.
When she got the shirt, which is this shirt, we bought the same shirt. She was like, "I'm wearing this to school," right? And I started laughing. She was like, "They're not going to know it's cocaine."
She knew. She like, these square ass teachers ain't gonna know shit.
You know. So anyway, my mother-in-law wouldn't let her wear it, so she got that swag bag, right? She took her backpack, dumped her books on the fucking floor, threw her backpack aside, put her books in the Clips swag bag, and wore that to school instead. Like just a great moment. And I think that's about it for this past week for me. Let's run through these notes real quick. There's not many, and not really a lot of talking points either. There's a Predator Badlands TV spot. I think we brushed over it last week. I finally watched it this week. I think it looks good, but I am with Joey where I don't like the concept of you beat the Predator, they take you to their homeland and hunt you till they kill you. It does seem like it takes the honor away from the Predators.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think it looks good. Like I think that red-faced Predator, whatever that thing, I think it looks cool. Like I think it looks intimidating and menacing. Like it has a character, you know, where like Predator 1 and Predator 2, like they're so similar, like the way they look, you know. So I dig that.
I'm loving the fact that, you know, they're making these shows so you can root for like with Alien. You're rooting for the aliens, and because you know the humans are such asses. I'm just like, yo, that's the dumbest shit ever. But yeah, I'm loving what they did, because I did like Prey. I didn't say Prey 2, but you know, I'm really looking forward to this one. Predator Badlands is gonna be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eater Love was better to me.
What is that?
Eater
Prey
Love.
Oh.
It's a terrible show.
Marvel Zombies didn't do anything for me.
Well, what if?
Right. I'm sorry. What if? You're right.
Yeah, what if?
Is it
Because
Zombies
I saw
or What If?
No, it's Marvel Zombies.
Okay,
but what if it's off the strength? It's the same type of animation,
Right. Correct.
And they did a zombie thing
In What If.
What If as well. I don't know how to feel about. I don't know what to feel about this one. I'm like, this is a spinoff of What If. I don't know what this is going to turn into, but let's see. You know.
Yeah. I think that the cartoon stuff for Marvel in the place that Marvel's in right now is just more bread.
Yeah.
It's not enough butter to cover all this bread. And I think they need to focus on more butter and less
You
breath.
think they're just watering down the product?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say the animation is getting better though.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, they look.
They are
It looks
truly-
beautiful.
Yeah, it looks great.
Agreed.
It looks great. Stories are sometimes shit, but animation's great.
The VMAs came out. I was just going to go through some of these. Video of the year: Ariana Grande's "Brightest Days Ahead." No real upset there. Best pop artist of the year: Sabrina Carpenter. No surprise there. Best hip hop: Doechii with Anxiety. Up against. So she's on TDE with like Kendrick's label. She put out an album. It has a crocodile on the cover. It's like an albino crocodile. Crocodile looks hard as fuck to me, but I'm into animals. Best hip hop, Doechii, she won, but she was up against Drake with Nokia, Eminem and Jelly Roll with Somebody Save Me, Glorilla and Sexy Red, What You Know About Me, Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, which seems like the better pick to me. LL Cool J's and featuring Eminem's Murdergram.
Oh yeah.
And Travis Scott's 4x4.
What'd you think about that, John?
With the LL Cool J.
Murdergram? Yeah.
It didn't do it for me.
It didn't.
Didn't do it for me. So I'm not the hugest Eminem fan. A lot of that like zibbity bibbity shit, like it exhausts me. Like there's some people that I have liked throughout time that have done that approach. Like I like Cool G Rap. I like Big Pun. I can take Eminem, but usually
You're not into. I don't think you're too much into wordplay. Then
it's not true. So I'm super into wordplay.
okay.
I'm not into just showcasing technical ability. I think Eminem has a ton of technical ability.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm not necessarily into what those words actually mean at the end of the day. A lot of times I find that there's not a ton of meaning. It's just, look what I can do. And while I think what you can do is impressive, and in my objective rapper list, Eminem sits at probably number 3, but 2 or 3, high up. But I personally have just never cared for his music.
I mean that's fair. My takeaway from that whole experience, I think it's dope where LL is in his life and his career right now, and to still be able to pull that off at his age, because that's that mental stability to be able to still be able to do that at his age.
Yeah, LL is so like I don't listen to too much new LL to be fair, but it's just like Eminem in a way. Like their impact, both of those artists, the impact that they have had on that genre, I would never take a thing away from. And I mean, for me, when I was a kid, I mean, especially when I was like, I think I was 10 when Mama Said Knock You Out, the album came out. And I remember, I have a visceral memory of hearing Booming System for the first time. And like, you couldn't tell me.
I've been listening to LL since day one. So
yeah. So
but
now
I know
I was aware of LL. I had older brothers. I had people outside that like, I was aware of, I mean, I can go Radio, Bad, Bigger and Different. Like I'm aware of his catalog.
Yeah.
But when I heard Booming System, for me, probably catching me at the right age,
Okay.
I was like, man, you couldn't tell me I wasn't fucking LL Cool J. I worshipped that album. But, then we start getting into Deep Blue Sea era and all this, like,
when he went mainstream, talking about mainstream shit.
Well, I mean, he was mainstream back then, to be fair. I mean, Around the Way Girl is a, relatively mainstream record, but there was something about, so you take like I remember there was a boot camp lyric where this guy, Starang Wonder, who I'm a fan of, but he said, I listen to LL and I watch Will Smith.
The fuck? Huh?
So like, I don't want to watch any LL Cool J movie, and I don't want to listen to any Will Smith records.
Oh, okay. I get it. That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that Drake was on that.
Yeah, I mean, he's still a huge fucking artist. I mean, but I don't think Nokia made that big of an impact.
Yeah.
I remember it when it came out, but I don't like.
But it just feels weird that they put Drake and Kendrick back in a competition, right? It's
And both lost, but I guess Kendrick still kind of wins for Doechii in a way. But yeah. Best rock, Coldplay with All My Love. I think we're doing rock with a lowercase r these days.
Coldplay could just, yeah.
Best long form video is Ariana Grande's Brighter Days Ahead. Best direction, Lady Gaga's Abracadabra, which
You say best erection?
Best direction.
direction.
Oh, my bad.
Best art direction, the same winner. Best cinematography, Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, which is interesting to me, given like if doesn't matter. Like if art direction seems like they would just all line up, but
The video or the Super Bowl?
video.
Okay.
Best editing, I don't know it. Best choreography, Dochi Anxiety. Once again, best visual effects, Sabrina Carpenter's Man-Child. Best group, Blackpink. I'm not even familiar with them. And I think that's...
What's interesting to me is that they're still making music videos.
Yeah, especially that MTV would even bother celebrating it. Like you don't celebrate it throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah, you don't fucking play any of them.
Yeah, kids got to go to YouTube to watch the music video now, or Instagram Reels.
And I feel like, I mean, who's going to YouTube for music now?
Right.
You know, so it just feels like it's a waste of money.
Yeah. Okay, let's wrap up with these questions.
Oh, it's not long enough. Hey, how would you ask a question?
Oh, good point, but I think I do have to change the paths. Let me think. If I were to give people direction on how, what would I say? I'd probably say,
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
all right, the Black Ryan writes in and says, rice and water. Saw this on Reddit and thought of this as a Nerd Rage drop, secondary to water in the cup. I won't do this again, I promise. Hope you enjoy. All right, I'm going to take a chance on this shit. Hope I don't have to edit it out.
Water into the rice.
Okay.
The rice doesn't overflow. But if I add rice into the water, does the water overflow?
Yeah.
So what does this mean?
This means that there are tiny gaps inside the rice for the water to go through, but there are no gaps inside the water, so that's why when you add rice to it, the water will overflow.
It's pretty funny. Hard to hear with the music. Hard to hear with the music. But okay, we got another one from Trey Fi. Howdy, lads. What are we up to these days? Bobby, what are we watching since Carrie Bradshaw's least successful love season has ended? I'm not really watching anything. Wondering...
Kill your God.
Kill your God. Yeah, that's what I'm living. Wondering if you gave Alien Earth and Peacemaker your time. I haven't yet. I do want to watch Peacemaker. Joey, I have watched Ghost in the Shell, both live action and animated versions. My question for you is, if you did watch it, how did you feel about the live action version, especially where they used an American woman to portray the Asian one, and the way they tied it to the story behind it? So we have gone in a deep dive on that in the past. Actually, back in the Adam days, Adam and Joe had a pretty in-depth and interesting debate as to whether she is Asian in the cartoon. If you watch anime, and I'm no expert, thank Christ, but if you watch enough anime is usually pretty stereotypes on steroids.
Yeah.
So most black people are very dark. Most Irish people, red hair, freckles. Most they have a tendency. Look at Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Like they have a tendency to take the stereotype and crank it up. You're an American, cool. You've got this wavy blonde hair. You're in the military, and you got an American tattoo on your body. You know, you're a Japanese dude, fine. You're fat. You're a sumo wrestler, and you're in a bathhouse. Like it's like the nature of that shit.
Yeah.
But there was an interesting debate on a previous episode. I couldn't tell you what it is. Joey was not crazy about the live action Ghost in the Shell, I can tell you. I will watch Scarlett Johansson run around in anything
Scarlett
tight.
Johansson, yeah, I was trying
Anything.
to remember who was in that.
Anything. I'm okay if she plays John F. Kennedy. If she's in the tight suit.
I think she would do, a good job.
Yeah, she'd do a great job. Okay. Farrell, I have a movie for you. Opus. OPUS. It's on Hulu if you got the app. I think you'll like this one. So, all right, Farrell's writing that down. Chris, if you're nasty, what have you been up to, bud? He's not here. So, unfortunately, can't answer that. Willie Slammo writes in.
Oh, what's Willie Slammo up to?
He says, what's up, nerd birds? Hope all is well. A quick and perhaps stupid question. Catching up on some Nerd Rage and finished the Lord of the Rings episode you did and I never read or watched the series. That being said, in your opinion, would you say it's boring but eventually somewhat interesting like Andor? No, I would say the first one is a bit of a rougher watch, but it's great. It's great. Definitely watch it. Anybody think that he shouldn't watch it? Lord of
What?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
Rings.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Because then it's going to get you into watching The Hobbit and all the rest of them. So, but yeah, actually, let me. So if you're going to do Lord of the Rings, definitely do all the extended versions, because the extended versions actually explains a lot.
So I definitely agree with you for the first and the third, but I just watched them a couple years ago, to be fair. And
You didn't
when I
like
watched,
Two Towers?
So Two Towers is my favorite one of the three.
Okay.
But when I watched the extended cut of Two Towers, I think you can get away with watching the theatrical version of it. Like, it's still tight and concise. That first one, you miss story shit.
Yes.
That third one, you miss conclusion shit.
Yes, you miss a lot of
But
context.
that second one, you can kind of ride out the theatrical version, and it's still
Just to
pretty
hurry to
tight
get to
and
the
concise.
third.
If you
Okay.
love it, then go back and watch I always watch the uncut, the extended. I always do. But as a newcomer, if you want to just consume it, you don't miss any real story beats cutting out the extended version of the second one. The second one extended is great. The second one theatrical is great. First one extended one is good. First one theatrical is good. Extended is better.
Yeah.
Third one extended is the only one worth watching, because it's required.
Yeah.
In order to fully understand it.
Right.
But I agree with you. They are great. And he says, P.S. And Bobby, having a guy dedicated to Lord of the Rings, he could bring out on a moment's notice like that. Kind of feels like Rick from Pawn Stars always being able to say, "I know a guy."
You got a show called that.
I do. And you know,
on Patreon,
on
$10 a month.
Yeah, and I do feel like just because of different facets of my life, like I've just had the opportunity to meet a ton of interesting fucking people. You know, that all like have their little quirks and their little.
So I don't think it's that you've had an opportunity to meet more interesting people than others. I think that you get the interesting thing out of them from like the first meeting.
Oh, well, that's a nice thing to say. I'll take that as a compliment.
It's meant to be one.
I really like the one you did with your brother.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
real shit.
Yeah.
You know, that's on. I know a guy with my brother Tug, who's currently serving a 12-year sentence for manslaughter, and our conversation is through the prison phone, and he opens up about his life.
Yeah.
Matt H writes in, "Hey fellas, to say this last week has been wild is an understatement. 2 questions this week. Wonder upon wonder one is nerd related. First things first, I understand Joe's disdain for people, and I too share it to some degree. I've spent a long time thinking about this. Do you guys think most individuals have the same wants and needs and are most like ourselves in most instances? One-on-one, most people are legit and are more similar than we are different. It's my opinion that when people gather into a mob and suffer from the group, that we become detestable. Granted, there are exceptions, people who believe in white supremacy and mono blues players being notable exceptions. Yeah.
Matt Hurd?
Yeah.
Oh, Beansy. Okay.
Yeah. So
Shout out to Beansy.
we've already kind of said those exact words, to be fair.
Yeah, I think the big thing is people's intelligence is different. And because dummies are easier to persuade and get into that
Mob mentality.
just that alternate thought process.
Well,
where you
I mean the group think or whatever it is, like whatever the core values.
I don't necessarily even mean the group side, but like, because you can just be a racist,
Yeah.
right? Because you've heard other people say things, and the dumber the person is, the more likely they'll believe shit, even when it doesn't match up with the reality that they're experiencing.
Yeah.
Right. So I think a lot of it has to do with intelligence, and not just book smart, but just being able to interpret and analyze information and kind of
Yeah, that's fair.
see nuance.
My dad used to say, individuals are smart and people are stupid. You know. Now for the nerd question. Do you think collecting seriously is an older person's game? If you are in your early 20s and are driving a Geo Metro and sleeping in the basement at mom's, perhaps it's not the best time to collect a full Transformers Masterpiece line. I see younger people with not a pot to piss in, jumping in with both feet, collecting all sorts of dumb shit. Do you really need a Trailbreaker when you are sleeping on a broken futon next to Mr. Binker's cat box and your dresser is nothing more than some trash bags? Perhaps it's not a question of age, but rather financial stability. Always keep those Dick's extra tight players. People be wilding out in these streets. As always, stay prepared, and I bid you all peace. So I think that with age comes more so disposable income. And, you know, if you start at your job at an entry level, even if it doesn't matter where, right? Target, and you're unloading the box truck, right? From the semi from on Wednesdays. And you start that job at 18. If you stay at that job and you have some sort of ambition to better yourself there at some level, or you want to, even if you don't, by the time that you're 30 and you're still there, you're making more money, and thus you have the kind of privilege to spend it more so how you need. Like when I started this shit heavily 11 years ago now, I didn't have it. I acted like I did. And then my wife and I had to have a long talk. And my wife was like, here's what we eventually arrived to the conclusion of was, if you work overtime, you can have every nickel of it. Everything else goes to the family pot. And that seemed fair to me. So I started working overtime, and that's where it all started. And then the channel shit blew up, and then the dynamics of it all changed.
Yeah.
But like, I think that unless you are abnormally wealthy when you're younger, whether a teenager living at home or in your 20s trying to figure out where you're headed while simultaneously having the best time of your life, and then in 30 trying to figure out exactly what the plan is, like a lot of times you're not going to get the opportunity to have money to spend on a Fans Toys figure, despite how much you may love them.
I love them.
It depends on your situation. I mean, that's what it all comes down to. Like you said, my son, my youngest son, he's in college, staying with me and Sean, but at the same time, he also works a part-time job. I don't require him to pay any bills because he's in school.
Yeah.
You know, and he's going to school. He's going to work part-time, and he's saving his money. At the same time, what he's going to school for is also ties in with his hobby as well. He's going to school for filmography.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, but he does Lego stop motion videos and all
That's
that.
cool.
So he gets Lego sets and all that type of stuff to do
That's
those
cool.
videos. And, you know, he's got a channel and all of that.
You know, you want to plug it?
Oh, Lego Boy Art Productions.
There you go.
Check it out when y'all get a chance. But yeah, he, you know, and then at the same time, he checks in with me. I say that to say this. It depends on how you set that up with that individual. You're looking at it from the outside in. Is what I'm getting from that email. You don't know what that particular person's situation is. I would say if it was, and I'm talking about 16-year-old Derek B. 16-year-old Derek B wasn't really good with money at that age.
That's okay.
So
44-year-old
buy shit.
Bobby S is not good with money either.
Right. I buy shit and don't, because I didn't have any bills or anything like that. My father at the time didn't require me to pay anything towards any bills or anything like that. But at the same time, that's a lesson that's actually learned over time. You're spending that money on these figures, but you know, you realize that some responsibility is going to come your way. So eventually you're going to have to get in the phase of, okay, I need to now take care of this. So like I said, it depends on your situation and whatever. So
Yeah, and I think that it's not our role as people looking outside in to question what motivates people to do things, right? So like if you're living in a shitty apartment, mattress on the floor, now if you're spending $10,000, I don't know how you got the $10,000
right.
on collecting anything,
Right.
or boozing, or
Right.
insert thing here that
Right.
you're spending money on that isn't to the, you know, saving, moving up, buying this, you know, the adult tract.
Right.
You know, if somebody's buying a $100 figure once every 3 months because that's what they're saving up, because that brings them happiness and that's something that they're striving towards, it's a motivation to complete this collection or whatever. Like, it's not anybody else's job to come in and say, I don't think you should be buying that with your money. You should be
No, but
because $100 every 3 months isn't going to change that person's
and it can make a huge difference on his mental state.
on his mental state. But
Agreed. But I
it's not
think
gonna
what he's
change.
saying when he says jumping in with both feet, I think he's talking about something where if you were a friend of this person, you'd be like, hey, man, maybe not. Maybe just get the $100 figure every couple.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know the
Yeah.
specifics of it. It's just it's interesting to me that it's like if you wanted to start something and you're like, it's my goal to complete this, and now it gives me something to work towards. But before you bought it, you're like, oh, man, I don't give a shit about overtime. Like, I'm not trying to get promoted at work. I don't really care.
If you can use it as a motivator and inspiration and
Yeah,
aspirations.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Esteban, who we need to protect at all costs,
Yes,
wrote
absolutely.
in and said, Star Wars at Disneyland. Hey, crew, just finished this week's episode and thought I'd chime in about Walt Disney World's changes coming up. Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run is getting a re-sign, but it's only on the monitors. You will still be set to go on an adventure inside the Millennium Falcon, but now Mando and Hondo Anaka will set you up on a different mission. Oh, okay, then that's fair. So instead of stealing coaxium for Chewbacca, it'll be something to do with the upcoming film. Everything else is still the same. Okay, cool. Thanks for clearing it up. Kind of like how Star Tours has different planets and visits and everything you go on. Okay, yeah, that cool. Thank you, Esteban. Also, one more trip to Disney for life. We go at least twice a year to the California park, where my wife and I had annual passes. Flex, and I'll give you one. It was a bi-weekly thing to go, share turkey leg, people watch, and get on a ride and go home before fireworks. I've been quiet lately, but I'm still listening, and everything you guys post, keep up the great work. So, yes, Esteban, but that is the difference when you live in the town where Disneyland is versus Disney World is in Florida, and you got to get plane tickets and hotel rooms and all of that. Those are the distinguishing factors there. So, while I love for you that you get to go to Disneyland all the time, and you should, the same way I can go to the Baltimore Aquarium anytime.
And you should.
I shouldn't. You know, we're not all in the land of milk and honey of such things. Okay, and then lastly from Astartes Pete, he says, "Hello, you loveliest of boys. You good? It's been a hot minute, so here's 2 questions to make up for it. 1, Bobby, are you planning on watching Thunderbolts? Now it's on Disney Plus, or are you happy to skip it? It seems to have a generally positive view, though it left me kind of nonplussed. Anything with Red Guardian in it is going to be a hard watch for me, and I have issues with lack of consequences in it." Interesting. I'd like to know why. Astartes Pete, I'd like to know why. 2, so my answer to that is yes, I do plan on watching. I did mention that earlier. I just had to be motivated enough to sit in front of a television, which I kind of had this hate relationship with at the moment. 2, I have a good friend. He's a welder, not religious, super down to earth in every way except one. Many years ago, he hit us with, "I don't believe in dinosaurs." He says it's all nonsense. There's no real evidence, and those skeletons are just from people making up stuff so they can go digging holes in the ground. But he does believe in aliens. What's the craziest theory or belief you've heard from an otherwise sane friend?
I got one.
Shoot.
Flat Earth.
Yep. Yep. I know somebody too. Actually, you and I both know someone.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. And I wouldn't call him a friend. I know him.
Yeah, I would say friendly.
Yeah, I've talked to him a bunch.
He came and he did the electrical work here.
Really?
For the basement. Yeah, for this room and the movie room.
And he's generally an intelligent person.
Yeah, and kind, good-hearted, good person.
And I don't understand how you can have a belief like Flat Earth.
Me neither. So, same person.
Okay.
For me, different view. So I'll tell this story. So when he was here doing the electrical work, and I was helping, lowercase h, more so just getting, I was a flashback. All of a sudden I'm 6 years old again, and my father's throwing the lug nuts at me. He said, he's a very devout, born again Christian.
Oh, okay.
And which I think is where some of the flat earth stuff comes from as well. And he was saying with things, and I was saying that I have some issues with being devout anything, but I have an issue with fundamentalism. That's usually my issue. Not religion necessarily, but fundamentalism. And he was like, well, like what? And I was like, well, the age of the earth, and dinosaurs, and how some of the as the kids say today, the math ain't mathin', as they say. And he was like, well, let me take a shot. And I was like, please. And he was like, when you start getting into the realm of angels and demons and God and the devil and that, it's not necessarily in this realm and isn't beholden to the same rules of physics and time and space. So who's to say that demons couldn't have placed those dinosaur bones in the ground to throw you off the trail? And I've heard this before at a private school that I went to, not framed the same way, but played the same way.
Okay.
And that conversation continued to go, and it was a great conversation, but we fundamentally disagree. Is the only fundamental thing I was okay with in the conversation, and but respectfully disagreed. Had a great back and forth and jokes at each other's beliefs, and it was fantastic. And then at the end, he was talking about both his job, which I'm familiar with, and his faith, and he was saying he's not good at doing anything a little bit. When he gets into something, he tends to jump in with both feet, which is where I deducted, like, okay, now I have a better understanding of you. And he was like, when I was this is him talking, when I was in the Marines, I jumped into that value and belief system 100%. And the only thing I ever really cared about was being a good Marine at that point. And then same thing with my job and same thing with my family. And same thing with my faith. When I got into my faith, I jumped in with both feet, and there's nothing that could sway me or deter me. And I said to him, I said, sir, you believe in interdimensional space and time traveling demons. There's never a doubt in my mind as to whether you were in this with both feet. But it was one of the more wackier things that I've ever heard another human being saying, who I respect and think highly of, you know.
Nice.
That's the key, though, isn't it? Being able to respect people even though their beliefs differ from yours.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I got one or two small things that I forgot.
Sure.
So I got an email from Disney, not personally. I think they send it to most people that have a Disney Plus account. So it's going up in cost.
It's always going up.
On a Tuesday?
I think they send it to me on a Monday, which would make sense.
That doesn't go into the song as well, but that's fine.
You know? But so it's going up $3, 30%. Right? And it's just, in what other fucking world does the price just go up 30%?
Now, do you have
Eggs.
the bundle or you have just Disney Plus?
I think I just have Disney Plus.
I'm asking, like the bundle, like Hulu, ESPN, all that, or is it just
I
Disney
think
Plus?
it's just Disney
Okay.
Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, because I pay for it yearly, where I get Disney and half of ESPN Plus.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, so why not just include because there's the way ESPN I think is set up is there's ESPN, your standard, you know, and then there's the premium stuff.
It has like ESPN 7.
Right, and you know all the pay-per-view events and all that type of stuff. Like, for example, this weekend they have WrestlePalooza. That's going to be on the premium side of ESPN Plus. It's not going to be because, you know, WWE wrestling is usually on Peacock because they have a hub for that, but they're doing it exclusive for ESPN Plus. So yeah, I pay for it yearly, and then at the end of the year, because my yearly subscription it renews in November every year. Right now I pay like $141 a year. Last year when it went up, it was because of that whole Hulu merger
And so
situation.
they threw it in, so they're like, "Hey, by the way, you get this." So pay
Right,
for it.
but hold on, I still don't get all of Hulu. I get a portion of Hulu, and
It's
it's
just
just like the reason why, and this is why I was asking you, what are you actually getting with your Disney Plus?
So I have
And
no idea actually.
Yeah,
I
so-
think it's just ESPN. I mean Disney Plus.
Yeah,
But so I normally, so last week I talked about I decided to finally start removing some of these subscriptions.
yeah.
So I got rid of Netflix
Oh, okay.
just as a trial.
Yeah.
So my plan was to get rid of it for a month, and if I
Okay.
didn't miss it, it just stay off, and then I'll just go to the next one.
Gotcha.
So, because I do happen to get in this thing where I watch like one subscription service over and over. Like I get everything out of it, and then I move on to the next one, but I still pay for that other one for like the 3 months that I haven't watched anything. So Prime Video, I hadn't watched anything on Prime Video in 6 or 7 weeks. went to look at something last night. They got fucking ads on it now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I don't remember.
Because you got to upgrade to the.
Yeah, I got to pay another $4 a month to not watch fucking ads. I'm
right,
like,
right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And it's $3-4 at a clip.
Yeah.
But if 11 different subscription services are doing it, now I'm paying $240 a month, and
it's like a cable bill.
We get we had the bundle.
Yeah.
Even though we don't use ESPN at all. And we barely use Hulu, and I might use it for Thunderbolts in the next couple of weeks. And we don't use it, but it comes with our Verizon phone package.
Spoiler alert: the movie wasn't that great.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah,
don't doubt it at all. Mediocrity, my friend. Mediocrity.
I had one other thing that I wanted to bring up, but I can't. I lost it again.
Well, if you remember it, write it down for next week.
Yeah.
All right. So shout out to Dante.
I do remember.
Okay.
Todzilla.
Oh yes.
I sent you a friend request, and you haven't approved it. What the fuck? I even sent a message saying this is feral.
Yeah, for the game.
Yeah.
Helldivers.
You playing Helldivers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple buddies of mine that are playing that. I haven't checked it out yet.
It's crazy addictive. Like I'm supposed to go back to work today. I might just go dive.
Shout out to Chris and Joe. Both are on assignment, and both of we miss dearly. Shout out to Dante, who tried to make it today but couldn't make it work on Facebook, and Marilyn Phil on our notes and on Twitter. And Derek, thank you for coming through, filling the seat when we're down a man and being there in the when we needed you. And it was good seeing you and catching up as usual.
Look, shout out for the permission slip I got signed to be on here. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, always.
Because I had to call her. I was like, that's what took me so long, because she's out of town this week. And it was just like, I had to call her and be like, hey, because she's coming home today. I said, hey, so Bobby got a spot open on Friday, and I'm really trying to get caught up because we haven't talked in a while. So I know you come home Friday, but I'm thinking about going to go hang out with Bobby. And then she got to me the next day, and it was just like, okay, Bobby need to know now, because he's like, you gotta know, I need that seat. And then she hit me up the next day, and she just started talking about something else. I was like, hey, so what about my note about Bobby? She's like, oh yeah, go ahead. Nice. That's cool. Yeah,
she's great. Yeah, and of course, happy birthday to you as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Big 5-1.
Appreciate it.
And with that,
moist thighs,
vibrant vas deferens. I know I get stupid with this every time.
It's always great there. Tight dick player.